dramatically.
Yeah.
5 rounds to 1. So playing Ducks might be quite happy about that. But that's 2 maps away if required. Penta on defense first, then looking towards the basement to get the ball rolling. Down in that laundry supply room. 6 Gatra taking Rook all over again, and Echo on Pengu isn't at all surprising either. Using, I suspect, that shotgun to make a few rotate holds. Yep, and then the Bearing 9 is his new primary effectively. With that extra camera, the Echo drone provides effectively to help cover 1 or 2 of the entrances.
And if I were to see a smoke on this defense team and an Echo, what I would assume, or what I would think one potential strat would be for Echo to keep his yokai inside of blue, wait for them to push in, disorient, and then smoke toss his gas grenade to cut off the exit, push in there, and basically kind of throttle them or funnel them into that blue tunnel or that blue door or blue room. But there's no smoke, so I'm not quite sure where the yokai is going to be sitting. But I'm sure we'll find out here eventually.
Yeah, as the round begins, 6 Gutras going up towards the back. He normally has been known to aggressively peek that back tower, but said he was a bit late to it, so he's going to peek the back tunnel instead. Elemzo has his drone coming in and has scouted that out. So 6 Gutra will take out the drone, but then get back. Pengu there leaving his drone up towards the front lobby, gives him a rotate hold towards the garage.
Now, one surprising fact about these stairs is that there's no barbed wire on them.
Yeah.
I mean, if they finish off Pengu, they have a quick push down should they want to take advantage of it. But there are 2 roamers upstairs. That's going to be Jaeger and Castle, as well as
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, sorry, 3.
Yep, 3 roamers on that top floor. Tuni in the attic, although he now drops into the meeting room. Rendier is in the master bedroom, checking the camera, sorry, the generator room, and then heads into the attic. And Sai is just outside the master bedroom in the armory area.
So keeping an eye, it looks as though we do have Tuni rotated downstairs, or here inside of the meeting hall. Now Capital's actually inside, right under the camera, in Red Tower. He's got his back exposed to meeting hall as he was looking down the stairs, but looks like he might be trying to push in. There's going to be a little bit of an engagement. Panics takes quite a bit of damage, but Tuni has eaten a few bullets himself.
Yeah, each of them a little bit low, but the numbers are going to stack up in favor of P-Ducks in a moment. So Tuni's got to play a little bit more aggressively. He has now got Valkyrie coming down to help out. Dual fire and keep the pressure up as the push tries to come in from Tuni on the reload of Panics. LMs is already there ready and waiting. Panics is get down now through the sofa by Rendier. Lackey is close by and looking to help out. Panics, though, just trying to hide. C4 comes up and over. That will take down Panics and just about out safely gets Lackey. Meanwhile, the Ash was taken down elsewhere as well, giving Penta this upper hand.
If Lackey actually looks through the doorway, he's going to see the feet of Rendier. They're kind of sticking up through the little stairs going up to the balcony there. But he doesn't, and Rendier is able to snap around and get that kill into Lackey. I like the situational awareness here. Rendier knows that Alems is up there, goes for the kill, but as Alems falls, gets the headshot onto Rendier and finishes him off.
Alems went for a big play, and he had to get that kill, and was very, very lucky to do so, to be fair. Meepy now up front with him. He's going to switch his drone, but his drone's right down the back of the site. Also, look at where Pengu has rotated to. Oh, it's not even Pengu. Who was it?
It's Castle, that is Sai.
Yeah, he came down there from up top. Came on down, he's now waiting inside the garage. Camera is obviously not there from the lobby, but as soon as these guys go down the staircase, he has that hole that Pengu made earlier on right at the top. Meepy exposes himself and, doesn't quite die. Now they're going to take a focus on him, but in comes LM's. Thermite is down. Meepy's the last man standing. Sai gets it on the second attempt. Penta hold without a single man from the attacking team getting close to the basement.
See, I think that was very good hesitation by Sai. I know, as me being a player, if I would have heard Thermite start planting the hatch, or planting the thermite charge on the hatch and then trying to blow it, I might have been over aggressive and tried to actually kill the thermite charge, giving up my position. But fortunately for him, he was able to wait, let Thermite start heading down the stairs, able to pick up Thatcher on the return, and did enough damage to him that when it came time to get that double kill, all it took was just 1 bullet to kill him.
So, time now for Playing Ducks to attempt the same defense. They're going to the laundry room as well, instead of heading upstairs first. But where do they place their players? Where and if do they place their roamers? They kind of have to. We talked about it. This new meta is an aggressive defense setup. They do not have an Echo themselves, but they have a Mute instead. So they're going to use that to try and delay the trapdoor a little bit. There's no Thatcher on the Penta lineup, and I think they probably knew this. Thatcher is not something that Penta like to run at all. So this mute jammer, if placed on the table downstairs, can stop that trapdoor being blown for quite a while.
Doesn't necessarily look like they are going to prevent the wall from being there, or like blow up the wall of classroom wall. So you still can get a thermite charge there, blow that open. But as for if they were just to bring a Hibana, yeah, the mute jammer would be fine for that.
5 seconds left.
Reinforcements onto the meeting room. Trapdoors, one reinforced, one not, can be blown in a little while. Lems heading into the garage, making a small hole in the bottom of it. Looking for a couple of tags on people running out of spawn, but doesn't touch a soul. Meanwhile, upstairs, Lackey is in the kid's bedroom. Enemy is in the armory. And with them, Panics is close by as well. This is the 3-man Roma combo. We saw this in the past. You run the mute upstairs, you put the one trap under the trapdoor, but then you mute jam the top of the staircases, and drones cannot get up to find you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a ideal showing of how different this map has been played over the seasons. The fact that not only are you typically, when you're trying to play off-site as a roamer or as just a whole team trying to hold, you're typically only one floor or one room off. They're 2 floors off of the bomb site, and this is kind of showing that it's still viable, still possible to play that different kind of defense strat, and that's what's going on here. You're, like we just said, 3 roamers were upstairs. I believe 2 were only up there now. 1 might have rotated down, but nonetheless, we're still seeing a lot of work here from Penta and P-Dux.
So Mute was crouching his way into the attic, changed his mind there, and it's a good idea because Pengu was at the far end of it already, firing down the corridor already and waiting. Panic's now on his drones hiding outside, on his cameras hiding outside, seeing the drones roam around from the back tower down into meeting. Everyone from Penta now pressuring onto the back side of the site, and as you mentioned, the other roomers are down. Lackey into the kitchen, has a rotate hole into the meeting room.
So I did spot him there with the drone, though.
Yeah, so I did. Enemy is downstairs, also in the basement, actually, with his drone still in hand. Pengu, though, comes down the back staircase and will take down Elems inside the site. More drones coming over. 6 Quattro is looking to peek around, but Lackey pre-fires it and holds him off. Now with Mute in tow, they're looking to push through the front side of the site. They need to put some pressure on here because Penta are controlling the back end and pushing towards B. 6 Quattro is on the trapdoor and does blow it. 6 Quattro gets killed off before he can blow it. Tuni stands up from the back desk and picks up 1 kill, but Lackey can't trade it back. So he chooses to rotate down and away from the site in a safer way. Pengu is down the back end. The trapdoor in meeting didn't get blown, but is now going to be down by Tuni. If he doesn't pick up the diffuser, it's going to fall through, and that might prove tougher for them to reclaim than if he gets it beforehand. No, it stops on top. Oh, that might be more of an issue. There we go. It falls through the hatch now. Falls through the hatch now and is inside the floor below. He's going to drop straight down on it.
Go for the push.
The 2 F shots rattling straight over his head, and he will fall down, losing it in the corner again. Lackey kills him off this time around. Second time lucky for Lackey. Sai is upstairs, and he's going to follow the drop shortly after. Pengu's picked up the diffuser, and Rendier is down here with him, trying to fireball on top of Meepy's head. Doesn't do any real damage to Meepy, so he can stay where he is. 13 seconds on the clock. Pengu is a great gunman, but he has the diffuser in hand. Trophy system still stopping grenades. Sai falls through, lands on enemy's head, and kills him. Pengu now is going for the plant in the corner. Sai will be taken out by Lackey C4. Rendier takes out Lackey as he comes around. The next man's going to be
doesn't get the kill.
Rendier takes down Meepy, and Pengu holds the plant the entire time, meaning, yes, they went for the time win. Yes, they went to stop that plant. That's all they wanted, but Rendier, with his aim on point, picks off both of them.
I think while that was unfortunate for the defenders, I think they could have gotten the kill on the diffuser planter, whoever is planting the diffuser, by going for the long angle instead of going for the close angle around the bomb. If they would have went long, stayed against the brick wall, it would have forced Blackbeard to push himself even further. I'm sorry, not Blackbeard, Capital, to push himself even further in, because he was inside a box. He wasn't inside of the bomb site. So it would have given him just that extra split second to try to kill him.
Oh, here we go. As Penta move upstairs into the kids' dorm with now a 2-0 lead. Comfortable to relax momentarily. Cameras being placed up on the wall here between each site. Will give them a nice view into both the A and B bombs. And of course Rendier using that Desert Eagle now to make the holes because caliber-based destruction. 6 Quattro with the hole into attic. Someone will go through at the far end and reinforce those shortly enough, I'd imagine. Maybe very rotate throw through. They are also only 1 reinforcing this walk-in closet wall as well. And then Six Cutrer is going to shoot holes into it. Interesting, okay. I believe he has one more impact nade, but he's just going to... Oh no, he hasn't. He's just going to shoot holes into it and use it
So another
to
peek
fire
for
in.
6.
Surprise, surprise. And this time there are 3 players over there.
We almost sees Panic. Panic now knows he's there.
They know he's here too, though, so they know which window he's going to be at, and they are watching for it. Lucky edges forward, darts across and survives. Six Cutrer not going to try his luck anymore after that one. Goes back into hiding inside the attic, and they didn't make a hole at the far end, but he just didn't reinforce it. So he's going to spray into there and spray onto the staircase and try and pick up some kills with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've run into this issue with the MP5 as well as the MP7. Trying to make murder holes, trying to get some early shots like that, you're already down about 30% of your ammo, and you haven't done anything yet. So I've run into issues where basically I lose track of my ammunition. I have poor ammo management, and that could be something Six runs into if he keeps on pre-firing and not making anything of it. He's already down to about just 110 bullets out of the 180 that he starts with.
As he's trying to spray inside the armory, he's missing LM's head, and then as he gets droned, he takes a whole bunch of damage through the wall himself. Nothing too serious, makes one in the window for sound, but then goes back to focusing on the armory. And as you mentioned, these new 9mm MP5 rounds just aren't doing damage to the wall, and he has no real line of sight inside. There's LM starts to fire out for it, and as he starts to shoot back, he just loses that fight. Thermite's weapon gets on through, and the fire was there first, and Rook will fall.
And it looks like we have Thermite almost falling into the same issue. He's only got about 2.5 mags left. So ammo consumption is a big concern with a lot of players.
Inside master bedroom gets droned. They do lose Tooney to that Ash as well. Meepy uses his second drone to sight.
Coming in from attic.
He's being pushed from the doorway now. Meepy's still outside the front. The grenades are coming underneath. Spray comes through from the door. He gives himself away. Thermite comes in. Sight picks up 2 as they step in on each other. Switches to his pistol. Has a second to rethink. Goes back for the reload and will sit comfortably. There's one in attic. Meepy still out front. Hasn't revealed himself. Does swivel around. Looks to peek out front to the repeller. Doesn't win that fight, but takes Meepy incredibly low. And from having a huge disadvantage in players, Playing Ducks have just lost that advantage they held, thanks to that beautiful play from Sai.
I mean, that just shows some of the quick flicking that you'll see a lot of pro players have. They know that they're pinched. They have to make just a split-second decision on who to go for. They go for one, and in this case, it turned out to be 2. Picked him off, then decided I need to turn around because there's someone that's going to be out by that balcony. And like we said, we did a lot of damage to him, just didn't get the kill. But I think it's still going to be worthwhile, and you're going to see that play into effect here as we get underway with 20 seconds left to go, a 3-on-2.
Echo sitting here inside B site. I don't know if he still has his drone. No, it appears to be dead. So that could have been in A, but it no longer can. Rendia coming up the back staircase then. They are sending the diffuser in with the low health player. Pengu inside Kid's bedroom is taken out, and what a shot from Panix in onto Rendia at the side of the bomb. Oh, he does it through the floor too. Coming up underneath, coming from behind. Takes down the flanking Valkyrie before the plant even needed to go through, giving Playing Ducks their first round.
So, I mean, we've seen Penta up before, and Playing Ducks came back to get the win, so I think Playing Ducks is going for the victory. It's just a matter of, will they be able to keep the momentum after this first round?
They are now looking for their own second defense location. They're going to go to the kids' dorm and the mains hall, even though they didn't win downstairs themselves. They're just going to mix things up again, go for something they maybe feel more confident on. They aren't used to dealing with that backside push. They aren't used to dealing with that rear tower and that B bomb site pressure that Penta put on them when defending their basement before. So they'll go with this upstairs instead and see what Penta has to throw from here.
Yeah, I think this is, like you said, a more comfortable bomb site for Playing Ducks. It's what they chose first against Euronics. It's what they won first against Euronics. So we're going to have to see if this continues to be the site for Playing Ducks. Hopefully, I mean, at least they're expecting it to be. But hopefully this is going to be their turnaround point.
So they finish their setups. It's time now for the attackers to make their way forward. Meepy does his last little reinforce before finishing making that hole in the wall. A little bit more important, would have kept him safer if they started to immediately fire, but then walks away. Huge hole between sites now then. Give him all sorts of rotate speed. And
Black is able to get that Valkyrie cam. We see in the lower left-hand corner, able to get the Valkyrie cam out onto the bus. Barricades the window back up, but to me, if I see that window opened up and I didn't destroy it, I'm looking for a Val cam.
Yeah. I mean, they found it last time they were playing on this map with everyone. Like, it's a very common place to put a Valk camera. Just get to which window they used to put it out there. Tooney then, you see, put a Claymore down in the back tower door, hey? Over here. There it is. Very, very light red lasers. So that's covering that run out as he thinks about going up the tower and making a way in onto that second floor. Pengu, up by the A window, has opened it up and is now going to drone his way in a minute. There we go.
When it hops through the window, there it is.
Gets it on in. Has a check now for what's waiting for him on the inside. A 6-scratcher punches a couple of windows below and gives himself a way in or a rotate through there if needed. As he then will take out any trophy systems inside B so that the waiting Capitao here can grenade into there if they find anyone.
Yeah, see, I think one of the things that we're going to start seeing Jaegers do eventually, later on, maybe next Pro League season or something, would be to start setting Jaeger devices down later on. After you see 1 grenade, 2 grenades get thrown, because that's kind of the standard. You throw 2 grenades right away, even if there's not a Jaeger device, because you're just constantly thinking, okay, there is going to be one.
However, the problem with that is right now enemy is nowhere close to where he needs to plant trophies. So he would have to play a far more defensive role, in which case they need someone else to be a roamer. And right now, there are a few operators that do it as well as Jaeger.
Correct.
So when you're already using up Valkyrie and Bandit for that role, you need someone else. So we'll see what they choose. Flashbangs are going in now, and LMs is prone and underneath the side, and there it is. Those grenades going in. They do down him. He's trying to head towards the trapdoor as Pengu's coming up towards the window. If he gets down here, Panics will be able to pick him up. The fire is there just above the trapdoor. Pengu actually the man with the kill credit as Tooney picks up one in the attic himself. Tooney, oh no, downstairs. He just gave up on that tower. He pushed towards the kitchen. He picked up that kill onto Bandit, onto Panics. Looking now to rotate up this back staircase. The barbed wire has been taken out largely by Ash as she was shooting it from outside. Pengu back up to the A window. 6-scratcher did get downed while repelling, but is now being revived. And with 40 seconds on the clock, there's still 5 attackers left alive. Jaeger taken out by 6-scratcher. Enemy is down. 6-scratcher was ready for him. Tooney now inside the site, and it's all on Lackey to come and do something about it. He is downstairs under the A site. The diffuser is on Capitao. If they have sight in here, they can see him. Maybe he can get a C4.
Go for the C4 kill right
he gets
above.
a shot, but he doesn't have the C4. He's going to throw it
right now. Can he get it in time? He doesn't get it.
As soon as they realized that he was underneath, Rendier jumped outside. Rendier gets the kill credit on enemy because he was downed, but Lackey finished off by Tooney. As soon as he picked up that 1 kill on the stairs there, they went, oh crap, he's downstairs. Stop the plant, run away. And Tooney went to hunt him because that beautiful gun that Hibana has gives him great firepower.
As soon as I saw the C4 go off, I was like, the diffuser wasn't planted, but there's no one there. What happened there? But he, like you said, he hopped out the window. Good communication skills there. Yeah,
they know there's a chance he must have been underneath. They know he's a roamer. They were just waiting for that confirm. That's why there's a player on the stairs. He, yes, lost the firefight to it, but it gave him the canary warning, shall we say. As soon as he died, they knew it was get out mode, and out he goes before the C4 goes off. So, saves the round. It was the only chance he had at winning that, was blowing that hole, getting the diffuser stopped, and then maybe winning any firefights afterwards, but it was also 1v5. Down into the basement then, once more, go Penta. This time around, they have put 6-scratcher on the Echo, Pengu onto Smoke. So they don't bring armor to it. He's still got an MP5 for on 6-scratcher, but it does far less damage at the kind of ranges he wants to spawn peek, if he chooses to spawn peek. But he's also not running the shotgun. Pengu, however, can still do such a thing on the Smoke.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of teams still utilize Smoke for. Even with the buffed FNG9, which has a lot less recoil than it did before, you still see players using a shotgun on Smoke, and it's for these murder holes. It's for the ability to make walkways, make crouchways, and I still see it being a viable tactic, even though you do have other operators that will typically bring a shotgun, such as Echo from time to time, or Valkyrie or so forth. So I think it's one of the things that you need to think about when you're choosing your operators, not necessarily the abilities, but also the weapons you're going to be choosing with them.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing it for these rotate holes, for these kill holes. He's doing it for the trapdoors more than he is for getting kills with it. And he has that SMG-11 for kills already doing Echo. He's got the bearing. As it is, 6-scratcher goes for that aggressive peek, and even with the reduced damage, takes down the thermite. There it is, gone, picked out at spawn. LMs once again falling down to that. We said in the past that these window peaks aren't viable in pro play because people are ready for them. They're just, you rarely see them because it's a very big gamble. 6-scratcher used to follow those rules. He rarely did it. He would do it once in an entire day of Pro League perhaps, so like 2 maps. Now he's doing it every single round, every single spawn. And people don't seem to be learning from it. They haven't realized that that's what he's doing, and you have to be aware of it now.
I think it's because he's doing it in a different way than most other people. And what I mean by that is a lot of people will open up a window and peek their head literally through the window to get the first angle on them. What Six is doing is actually taking a softer angle on a lot of the windows, letting the defender or letting the attackers try to cross a different pathway, like we saw on Consulate. Consulate, a lot of times people will peek their head out, look right at the direct spawn of police line. He waited for Thermite to try to cross later on, kind of towards the first gate. So holding a softer angle when you are trying to get an early peek is something that I see Six doing that I don't see a lot of other players do.
True, but it's also a lot of these soft angles are from similar spots as those instant spawn angles.
Correct.
And can be easily countered by putting a drone on it or looking for a drone for it, same as you would in the old days. So why is no one realizing that?
Yeah, no, I agree that the early droning in the prep phase is lacking to try and call out where those bushes are coming from.
Rendia picks up one man upstairs before getting taken out by enemy. Then Sai will take Lackey down, who's trying to come in support. Sai is tucked inside the armory now, has barbed wire to protect his door. Dancing back and forth here with enemy left and right. He also has Meepy on the staircase trying to pin him in, but there's his escape route. Out and down, punches the window open, gets detected, but then now they know he's back inside. He is pinned once more in here, but what they don't have is a way to protect themselves from someone else flanking them. Enemy tries to come down the front staircase, does go down for down with the man underneath. Sai's going to take this as a chance to peek, but they were ready for that, so he does get taken out. Tooney's reviving downstairs. Enemy is being revived upstairs. Pengu's back on his feet. They're going to just about peek around the corner. Tooney didn't quite come far enough. And they do get out safely for a couple of seconds longer. 25 seconds on the clock. Six Quattro is watching the back hatch. Pengu has got smoke grenades to pin them out the front hatch, and Tooney has got this long corridor to play both ends.
The front hatch isn't even opened up yet. They are forced to go down
Drop down the back. Enemy drops down, taking damage from Tooney. Peeks around the corner prone, but Tooney will get that kill and the second kill as Meepy tries to follow it. And Penta are on map point already.
You're seeing some great work here from Penta. You can definitely tell that they've analyzed how Playing Ducks played this against Euronics. And, I mean, while it's not the exact same style that Euronics has beaten P-Ducks on, it's still... They're taking bits and pieces from what Euronics did and are forcing it into their own strategy, turning it into something new, and getting the win here.
So, Penta now going back to an attack, of which they don't necessarily know where they're going to go, because having very few successful rounds here, Playing Ducks have both bomb sites available. They have played both bomb sites. It's a question of which one do they feel will be their best chance at staying alive, and well, they're going for the basement. So it doesn't change too much for the Penta setup. They bring in the same operators everywhere they go. The question is, when they find it with their drones, what do they choose to do? They went for this heavy B push. They went for this heavy backside push for a long while and a long time. Question is it going to work a second time over? Because Playing Ducks know about it now.
I'm curious if we're going to see Olems, because Olems has kind of been, it's either been Olems or, yeah, Olems has kind of been the one that has done a lot of the peeking for P-Ducks, either that or enemy. But basically, it seems like he's going to be the one that tries to go for a peek against Six. It's kind of been, when these two teams played earlier, it was Olems and Six going back and forth at trying to get the peaks and get each other's killed. And I think we're going to have to see P-Ducks go out of their comfort zone to try to get something to work here, because nothing that they're doing currently seems to be working for them.
So, once more, they're sending people upstairs for rumors. Panic is up there with his drones. Alems has already taken a hefty chunk of damage, trying to run out the back of that tower and pick people off at spawn. That's what we talked about, those hard spawn peaks, those very aggressive ones that people are ready for and did make him pay for it. But he only tagged Six Quattro and didn't actually get any serious damage done.
A bomb has been located.
As it is, Penta sending most of their players out and around the back again. Tooney is up front like he was before, taking control of the front lobby and at the very least taking out the cameras and causing a little bit of surprise, and then dropping this Claymore down to kill out anyone that tries to sprint out of that door and shoot out the garage towards the back town.
Yeah, and so, I mean, we can definitely see by the setup here from the attackers, they're looking to push in back. You already have Pengu down here. I know Thermite's rotating around. You already have Hibana, I believe, rotating around to the back red tower, already down through construction entrance. So if Playing Ducks can recognize this rotation from the attackers, they can get their defense set up, start getting ready for the flanks and what's to ensue here in a moment. But basically, from a defensive standpoint, identifying where the push is coming from is one of the biggest pieces of information that a defensive team can receive. It's just where is the push coming from, because once that happens, you can get a general sense of where the attackers are going to be, when they're going to push, how they're going to push, and set yourself up for that.
Pengu picking up a kill downstairs as they do stray a little bit too far into the corridor. Panix is upstairs. Sai is down to his right-hand side and is coming this way. I think he knows Panix is in here because he went onto his drone earlier and came straight off of it as if he was trying to bait him out. Both of them now slowly edging to see a better view around the door. Who's going to get that first quick headshot? Right now, Panix is in the very advantageous position, but we've all seen what an Ashe can do with her speed. Getting through a gap like this, forcing him into a spot that she wants. But if he walks through that door, it's going to be really, really hard. Penta are pushing him from behind in the back of meeting, and that's going to force Panix out of the position he wanted to hold. This could give Sai an opening to get inside. He's slowly edging back and away. He's not quite ready to put that pressure on yet. He does now come around. That's where Sai would have seen him before.
I think Toonie and Sai are going to be looking to make the pinch together on him. Now, Sai, again, is the one more cautiously pursuing this, but Panix knows someone's here. He knows he's trapped. He can't really escape at the moment without giving up his position.
There it
anymore,
is.
but
He
will
does get off with the kill. Sai wasn't quite ready, despite having his gun up and despite having his gun held. He wasn't there. Toonie goes down the front staircase. He's now ready for Panix to come around behind. Toonie wins that fight as he knew it was about to happen. Meepy now waiting down for the plant. Does take out the shield on Pengu, but can't get the final killing blow. That's why he's still viable. Now Lackey has a down on the man at the front. C4 up and over the top.
Very
Takes out two,
C4.
including the plant. Goes through the fire to finish off Toonie. It's now him versus Pengu. Pengu has no shield and no health, and he does just about hold on long enough behind the desk for the timer to run low and to keep playing Ducks in it for one more round.
So while that was a 3K by Lackey, I would call that a 4th K, just for getting that win there, playing the time, because all he had to do was come up with a gun, shoot once to kill Blackbeard and finish him down, and it would have been game, or would have been that round either way. So,
or he could have been deagled in the face by Blackbeard himself. It's the sort of risk. I don't know. Pengu's a great player.
It was very risky. It was very risky to try to do that, and I think he made the correct decision in staying low, forcing Blackbeard to push up on him, and there wasn't enough time to do so.
Yeah. He hid. He ran the clock down. He knew there's no chance of Blackbeard planting. He didn't have the diffuser. That C4 was beautifully placed to stop that. And it did what he needed to effectively, as you say, 1v4, hold that final round out. Gives them another chance. Penta now back onto defense. They have to go upstairs. They still have that 2-round buffer, but playing Ducks are going to be a little bit high on the morale now, thanks to what a great round that was from Lackey. Against his old squad of all teams as well.
So I think if there's a round that P-Ducks needed to get their motivation back in order, it was that round, and I think we're going to see a good attack from playing Ducks this turn. I would hope so. I would like to see this go into a closer matchup on this map, but at the same time, I'm sure Penta, while they did lose that, they know that it shouldn't have happened. I don't think it's going to bug them too much. I think it would have bugged them more if it was a 1v1 for the past X amount of minutes and they lost at that time. But they know they screwed up. They're going to shrug that off and come back here just as strong as they have been 4 out of the past 6 rounds.
Right on board with 6 Quattro, and this time he doesn't actually stick his head out of the spawn. Meanwhile, they are leaving a lot of their players actually rather close to the bomb site for a change, except Toonie, who is running towards that back tower. Now, he was here last time over, but got found out, killed off, and downed very early. He also has Sai in this back tower, reinforcing and battering that up. Opens up some windows. In doing so, it will slow down the attackers and force them to check it and clean it. Pengu sees that drone come in on his own drone, on his Yukai drone. And we'll go up to kill it out. Lems is still droning downstairs, so is Panix on the Capitao and kitchen. Lackey is the one droning upstairs. He sees Pengu there inside the kid's bedroom.
So we've talked about it before. I don't necessarily think we talked about it today, but during the Season 3 we talked about it, how a lot of teams will drone and not have someone follow those drones and be able to take actionable movements when having a drone in front of you. And that seemed to be the case here just now. I think we saw 3, maybe 4 players on drones, and while they're getting some intel, by the time that intel is useful to them, or by the time they're in the location of that information, it's no longer useful. So I think while they're getting intel, they're knowing, okay, there's 2 roamers here, there's 3 people on site there. It's a matter of how actionable is that going to be when it comes time to making a play.
Panix picks up the first kill. It is onto Toonie, so that man running around, that flanking man, fails, as he says, as clearly goes down. You're then trying to grenade the backside of the site. No one in that position this time, but now they know. Enemy and the Lems are now coming to join on as well. He's going to sledgehammer the barbed wire while enemy is covering it with Ash. And then we'll look up through the hole himself and make it a little bit more open. Give Ash that clean path up to the top of the staircase and in towards the B site. They have a lot of control here playing around this A area, but what they don't have is a kill on the Yukai drone, I believe. Pengu still has... Oh, actually, it says
He's got
0.
it deployed. I don't know if that means...
Yes, I mean, I don't know if it's deployed or dead.
Yeah.
He is currently, however, not willing to go on to it at the very least. He just ducked behind the bomb and does just about survive enemy shots rattling past him, so he's lucky to do that. He's got to angle down towards the door of dining room 2 to cover anyone that might try and kind of nade him. It's not going to happen, though, as they've already used that up. In towards the site they come. 30 seconds now. The planter is in the corner and it's going to be picked up by 6 Quattro from range. Lackey's in the other spot and Pengu will grab him. Down now to 2 attackers, 1 attacker left. What a great attack looked to be from Playing Ducks is now suddenly falling apart. This could be map 1 in the bag then for Playing Ducks. No. For Penta. They've locked it. Good half comes out. Penta have that 1 map advantage.
I mean, it was a 5-on-4. P-Ducks was up. Next thing you know, it was just an all-out flush. Like, they were ready to go. They tried to make the push at the perfect time, but I think it was just a split second where Penta said, okay, we're going to push as well. And they just got the upper hand, and you saw 4 kills instantly occur, all in favor of Penta.
Yeah, Penta's like, okay, well, you know where we are, but you can't do anything about it. We know where you are and where you had to come from, and we're ready for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, see, the 2 people coming from the window, 6 Quattro grabs 1 from outside, which he could apparently see the Meepy. Meepy thought it might have been a completely random spray, but no. 6 had a vision of him the entire time.
To me, what that kind of reminded me of, that defensive hold, was very similar to how in Season 1 and Season 2, Penta played Hereford. The bottom bomb site, where they would not play in the bomb site. They didn't play inside of the mattress room. They merely just had a lot of openings so they could get angles in and crossfires, and that's exactly how they won that round. Because we saw three attackers outside of the main window, 2 were coming out the back stairs. It was just a matter of letting them push in, and then you already had Penta there with the soft angles ready to get the kill on.
So, now we look on over to Consulate. This is a map which, again, we've seen these 2 play against each other already. It was incredibly tight. There was a lot of new things shown off and revealed. Beautiful play from Lackey. Don't really know how he got through that fire unscathed.
I thought he would have died.
Yeah, but he had to give it a go. But then it was all done in a quick round afterwards with a very well-disciplined hold for Penta.
Yep.
Now going into Consulate, we've seen them do it a couple of times. We've seen some strategies revealed, see some new things there, which didn't really change or evolve much from round to round in the first 8. But as you talk, now they've had a chance to review them after the game and post-stream with the VOD view. So
I kind of feel Penta's still going to try to hold first floor. They kept going back to that. They won it once out of 3 attempts. I think they're going to try it again. I think their manager went back and said, okay, this is the bomb site you guys want to hold. This is where the flaws happened. This is what happened in the first round. Once we knew that there were 2 people upstairs, you went and brought more people up. And that was kind of the downfall, because then Thatcher and Ash were able to push in the main lobby and get the plant down. But what I don't think is going to happen is I don't think that P-Ducks is going to play the same way that they did before. I think they know that, hey, we've been scouted out. They know pretty much what we're going to do on some areas. So I think what we're going to see is a little bit of different play style, maybe some different reinforcements, maybe some altogether just different roam sites. What it's going to come down to is not necessarily how they're holding the bomb site, but how they're holding around the bomb site. And that can change up from round to round. And I think that's what's going to get them the win if they can execute that well enough.
So we'll double check and see who's ready and get the players back in and move on to Consulate. Don't forget, of course, if we go to a 3rd map here, it will be Chalet, which is a new one on this stream for everyone.
Yep.
However, we
G-Bots
have
and
seen
Euronics played it, correct?
G-Bots and Euronics played it, and we also had G-Bots and Penta play it.
Gotcha.
On Milosh's game, their first map for the last thing. So that comes back to, again, P-Ducks will have had a chance to see and watch and go over a little bit, or at least the management will have had a chance to go over and watch Penta's play on Chalet.
Yep.
P-Ducks haven't revealed anything. So, again, another slightly interesting dynamic towards the way that played. And we talked about the new meta and the changes and what may happen on a map like Chalet, a very vertical, very destructible map. Something like Fuse may come out.
I'm actually very surprised we haven't seen a fuse. We've seen Montaigne once or twice, I think, trying to do a stockroom push on Clubhouse, but we really have not seen fuse at all yet today, and I'm surprised by that because you look through the Reddit, you look through the general community's comments. Fuse is now an OP operator in the terms of the general community. They feel that he's very powerful, and I agree.
He is,
He's very powerful. The fact that we haven't seen him leads me to believe that he's either just not been able to been worked into the meta just yet, or there's something we're missing about him that makes him less valuable than other operators in the very high competitive scene here. So I'm still curious, but I don't know. We still might see him. He might pop out on this map. He definitely, I would expect to be popping out on Chalet should we go to it. So
time to find out. Consulate is underway. So playing Ducks and Penta, map number 2. Penta 1 map up. Remember, the winning team here has to face Euronics still. Playing Ducks got rolled over by them not so long ago and are definitely going to want some revenge. But Penta have had a bit of a struggled path to get here, in all fairness. Losing to playing Ducks originally, then having a bit of an up and down game against G-Bots just to get to this stage. Going to have to then face what are a formidable looking Euronics if they can even win this one.
I think we have to point out that both of these teams have been playing for 4.5 hours. I mean, these teams have been playing for a long time with a lot of matches. And so this, while it will come down to strats, it will come down to communication, droning, all the key components, it's also going to come down to stamina for players. I mean, going into this, the winner of this is then going to be playing Euronics for 4 straight, or maybe 5 or 6 straight hours. So it definitely is going to come down to stamina and how are the teams going to work, how are the teams going to play together, and how the teams are going to come through these hours of gameplay.
So, as we do see them setting up on that floor above again, Penta with their practice strategy, but reinforcing this hatch here inside. Now, they used that to their own advantage in plenty of situations before. They used that to help defend the floor below.
But also, every time, the lurkers have been able to keep a hold of the corner office or bathroom, but when it gets down to it, the attackers will then eventually drop through that hatch and try to get the plant. So I think it's wise. It's that little tweak that the manager or whoever saw and said, you might want to try this, give this a shot.
See whether or not it pays off for them. P-Ducks do have plenty of ways to blow it open if and when they get control of it. They're bringing both Hibana and Thermite to the table once again. So we'll see whether or not that stays reinforced for long. Because as I say, the other reason that Penta had it open, and one of the biggest points for it was a safe rotate. It was a way of getting out of trouble when the pressure started to get a bit too much for the guys up here. No longer such a thing. So it might actually hurt them more than it helped.
I guess we'll have to find out because there are only 2 minutes left to go in the round. We do see Tooney down here in Garage going over to Kitchen. Looks like he's thinking about rotating over towards Visa, but not quite sure yet as he turns back around towards Yellow Stairs. Lackey's going to be looking into the meeting room top floor as he's going to be, looks like, coming into Visa. Either that or rappelling up to the corner, up to admin.
So Sai's still upstairs, Rendia's still upstairs, Pengu's still upstairs, Six Scratcher is actually on the bomb sites, and Tooney's down in the basement. LM's peeks in, and Six Scratcher takes him straight on out. Tooney's now coming up the spiral staircase. It's where he played the majority of all their other defense games on this map, and has been very successful in such a position. Six Scratcher checking the cameras again, having a look around that front door. Does, I think, see the shadow of enemy there. Dances across the gap, does catch him on the backside. Sees Lackey as well, misses that kill, but will get paid for it. Enemy comes in the front door, is taken out by Pengu up and above. Pengu's shotgun then will take down Panics as a second kill from above. The diffuser's now looking to go in. It does get across the gap, but Pengu will grab one. Tooney peeks up, gets the man that snuck his way in the front door. Looks like playing Ducks' strategy for finally beating this map is just run in like a bunch of lunatics. And funnily enough, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, smoke is an excellent utility if you're playing horizontally, but when you're playing vertical, regardless, I say smoke, but any operator above is going to be able to see through that smoke into the doorway. That smoke is not very effective horizontal or vertically. It's more so for horizontal play, and the shotgun from smoke right there had the upper hand.
So Penta taking a nice early lead, and now they have to attack playing Ducks' garage hold by the looks of it. Glaz is being hovered over here by Six Scratcher. If anyone's going to do it, wouldn't put it past him, but yeah, being talked out of it by his squad, not the biggest surprise.
What we don't see, though, is any way to prevent Hibana or Thermite from opening up the garage wall. There's no jammer, there's no batteries, there's nothing. So what, to me, this says is they're giving up the garage, not the garage, and so, but they're giving up the garage door, and they're going to be playing it through different angles instead of trying to forcefully hold garage down.
Yeah, which to be fair, we saw them do before. They ran a lot of players upstairs, they ran these castles and they ran these reinforcements up the backside. And it was then from above that they really held and defended this. So nothing new there, but the question is, again, did Penta learn how to, once they've got those walls open, make them pay for that? There are a lot of ways you can punish them by having these rooms upstairs if you take control of the garage. You just need to be able to flush out the few players that are left downstairs. Capital is a great one, but can they really make use of it?
So here's Rendir. Oh, Panky. Oh, Panky, we love you.
It stuck up on me. I couldn't help it.
So here's Toonie coming in from the outside of the Garden's entrance point. Enemy's going to try to lay a little bit of fire back down to him and just force him back down the stairs. Now, Pengu up on top of the balcony, or up on top of the garage roof, looking in through a corner office, waiting for a rotation around, but he's not going to spot anyone. It doesn't look to be any roamers except for possibly Castle upstairs. And let's see where he's actually going to be sitting around. He's going to be inside of the printer office, right by the admin building.
Yeah, so he's right up the far side in the opposite corner of the building. Will be prime place for a late rotate down if they call for it. He's slowly making his way forward, but didn't pay attention to the B windows as,
That's exactly what Pengu was waiting for.
Yeah, Blackbeard on those B windows. Don't think anyone's seen that before, have they? Oh, no, wait, hang on a minute. Yep, yeah, maybe we have.
Yep.
Yeah, Toonie then comes on in. Now that they know that that room is gone, they feel a bit safer around the rest of the map because they already located the other 4 players downstairs. Now, enemy is slightly up the top of the back stairs, up by Visa, but after being droned out, changes his mind, goes back down again. Droned again, so now they know he's definitely down and safe. They will feel more comfortable upstairs once more. The holes are starting to be blown in the floor, the trapdoors are coming open, the piano is in control of Penta, and they're looking to decide where it is they want to push.
So, I mean, looking up, Elems is here inside of the security room, looking up right at Toonie.
That desk is penetrable.
Saw the tip of the gun, but decided not to shoot it through just yet.
Couldn't get a guaranteed shot, didn't want to give his position away. Just waited.
Now, Lackey's going to be here on the bottom of the yellow stairs. You do have enemy watching the bottom of the circle stairs. Toonie wants to shoot on through. Will he see the feet of Lackey? Because they will be portraying there.
So the drone comes on straight down. Don't believe he can be seen until he does that, but it doesn't matter and he can win the fight. Lackey straight up takes Toonie out. Now on the stairs, there's a bit of pressure to be done as Pengu is looking to come down it, but the C4 won't touch him. Lackey is low now thanks to that play on the trapdoor, but he will fall down to Pengu without doing any serious damage to Pengu either. He still has 2 shields left. I think he did that entire fight without a shield on. So gave him that speed and mobility, and at that kind of range, he doesn't need it. And
there's going to be the Yokai drone. That is Pengu being shocked. Now, we don't see it in spectator mode, but he is definitely disoriented at the moment. There's 15 seconds to go. In a 4-on-3, Rendir's going to drop and be picked off by Olems. Sai's going to try to move on in. Meepy just got around the side of the van, and he'll be picked off as well. Now it's a 4-on-2 with 6 holding the diffuser. Now he's going to sit right in front of the van, try to get the plant down. And there's going to be Pengu finally he's not disoriented anymore, down at the bottom of the yellow stairs, but the disorientation comes around.
Perfect timing with Echo. They didn't know where he was sitting, they just knew he had a drone. They didn't know where the drone was. As soon as he finished drunking the Pengu, as soon as he finished drunking the Blackbeard, he hit it, he ducked away from it, and then they kept it safe up. Gave a long time through the defuse. It's a 7-second plant time, obviously, here in competitive, so it takes a lot longer than in ranked, and he waited for it to run the clock down as long as possible, then cancels it right as it hits the 0 mark. Well played indeed. Also, though, Penta are going to be kicking themselves because he was on the other side of a penetrable wall right in front of Pengu's crosshairs and was killable. They just didn't know it. They couldn't see him. They hadn't droned him. They didn't know that's exactly where he was. With a little bit more information gathering, or a little bit better information gathering, that could have been avoided.
So we're going to go back up top. Penta now successfully holding first floor.
Just an idea and a question. Do you know how, when you EMP the UK drone, how long does it stay disabled for?
I believe, I want to say 6 seconds. I don't know for sure. but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 8 seconds.
Okay.
So, and that's a good point to bring up because a
So
lot
if
of
you
people don't
EMP the
recognize
garage
that.
door, basically, and immediately start the plant, you can finish the plant before he gets back on the drone, if it's 8. If it's 6, he has a minuscule window of getting back on it and zapping
you can
it.
still, I believe you can still sit on the drone.
You can still sit on it, it's
You can
just
still sit on it.
unmovable. So yeah, the moment it comes back, you hit spacebar, you shoot,
Yep.
you have a window. But it's an interesting way to play. If you
Yeah.
don't know where the drone is, you just EMP where you want to plant, and if it's close enough, most of the time, you're going to disable it.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point to bring up because some players don't realize that the yokai drone, when it's EMP'd, is not like a battery or not like a mute jammer. It's still there, it's still viable. It just takes X amount of seconds for it to come back and play.
Yeah, now Pengu is running that Echo again. He has a huge hole in his wall as well to help him see and control the staircase. Meepy is on the Thatcher. It's playing ducks do not mind running themselves. Such an operator. So we'll see if and how they find that drone with his EMPs or if they just shoot it normally. Meanwhile, they pick up the first kill onto Pengu, straight through the roof. Panics takes him out through the skylight, I believe. So that's all irrelevant now. No more Echo drone in play. And it's down to a 4v5 defense for Penta. But they've done this before. They've overcome the man deficit to successfully hold out and win the round regardless.
Now, I know what some people are thinking is, why is there not a rotation hole between the connector wall and B bomb site? And that's because 6, well, I was going to say 6 knows exactly where to pre-fire, so there's no need to make a hole. It's better to let that wall be solid, give the attackers some false comfort, a perception of false comfort, so that 6 can then pre-fire when he hears the rappel in or when he gets that information. But now he knows that, hey, no one's actually coming in just yet. There's no wall that's been opened up. Looks as though the push from playing ducks is going to be from admin. You already saw Lackey getting in there and droning it out, seeing that 6 is inside a connector. Elems is on his drone as well. Panics is inside. Looks like he's going to be pushing forward. Enemies coming up the stairs from Visa. And it's just a matter of, okay, there's going to be 6. Here's the rappel. Gets Lackey from upside down. Very nice job. And now it's a 4-on-4 with 60 seconds left to go.
Meepy now firing in from the far side of the vending machine. 6 Scatterer won't quite land his kills onto him. He will then peek around to enemy, who will shut him straight down. Trying to smoke in towards the A site. More nades and flashbangs and smokes going through, taking out that trophy system. And now it's time for Ash to watch the flank. LM's at the top of the staircase with the diffuser, and there it is. Tooney on the flank, taken down. Top of the staircase, Rendier. Meepy finds him and takes him out, and it's all now onto Sai. He stops the diffuser, that's 1. He looks for enemy, but can't get that kill. Down he goes, and playing ducks take the lead here on map number 2.
So, very nice job. I mean, you saw the push, the collapse from the attackers. Once they realized where the last defender was, it was a matter, okay, we're going to push in from the Visa stairs, we're going to push in from the main corridor. Somebody's bound to get him. I don't think there's enough ammo in a single clip to get 4 enemies down. So,
Well, 4 bullets is enough. 4 headshots, 4 bullets, it's enough.
I'd like to see four pro players give up that opportunity.
One day.
One day. One day it may happen.
4 Desert Eagle 1-taps. Or revolver one. Oh, yeah. Only 6 bullets in a revolver. 4 of them into headshots.
We should make
Done.
should make a challenge. If a team can do a 5 deagle headshot in a single round, think that should force us to do something. Challenge.
I don't think anyone's going to care about what we can, unless we can, like, overpay the prize money they'd get for, you know, actually going to the invitation and winning. No one's going to care about our little challenge enough to throw trying to make that happen. Not going to work.
It was worth a gesture.
Maybe when we win the lottery, we'll do that.
Okay. Does the UK have the lottery?
Yes. The Euro has the lottery too. Euro Millions.
How big is it?
Depends on the week. Depends on the month. Has been close to 200 million on regular occasions. Pretty damn huge. So, heading now to defend the top floor themselves are playing ducks, and we were talking about it earlier on, but got distracted by our millions. We now have one.
There he is. I see him. His name is Fuse.
He is
and he's
Fizz.
here on the police line.
It is Fizz. And, well, he's got breach charges, which are a new, interesting idea, but also kind of, you know, really damn useful against castle barricades.
I mean, what you could potentially see here is him going up to the corner office, but although he looks like he's going to go to connector window instead, is if you've got 2 windows next to each other, place a fuse charge on one, a breaching charge on the other, time it so that when the last fuse charge blows up, you're already breaching in. Go for a quick entry point like that. But I think what we're going to see here from 6 is actually getting onto the balcony Now, the window has been opened up a little bit. That's going to force 6 to be very cautious. I'd like to see him get a cluster charge out before he gets killed, but it looks as though right now he's just going to hold the angle, looking in towards connector.
Yeah, he can't put a charge on those windows. It's too much noise would be made, too obvious, too easy to shut down. So he makes the move around towards admin and is going to help pressure here instead. Oh, Panics
Right
is
next
on
to
the other
Panics.
side of this
Panics
window.
hears it. He's going to pre-fire and kill him. Oh, no, that's actually the enemy. Came out from Visa and got 6, who was repelled right by the window of Visa stairs.
So there goes your fuse. It's things like that, which is why we don't see him that often. You talked about it. He is very exposed while planting those charges on windows or walls or doors or whatever it may be. And he was trying to run around a little bit too solo and got shut down because of it. So, Sai now down here in this back corridor, right at the other end of the corridor from enemy. See if and who starts to walk down it first. Rendier up on the roof. Pengu repelling on these B windows as a Blackbeard likes to do. And Tooney is up, repelling on the yellow stairs. Looking again for that outside enemy. It is probably the Jaeger up in Visa. But he feels safe enough to go on inside. Grenades up, bounces it over to the door. Oh, what a beautiful nade.
Very
Tooney
nice.
blows up right in the doorway, right in front of LMs, who was prone on the other side of it. And it takes him out in 1. No rook armor means there's no down there. It is a straight death.
I mean, I've said that some people cannot throw a grape in the ocean. This guy could throw a grape in a little cup next to it. I mean, that thing was just a tremendous throw. You've got Panics now inside a connector, and it looks as though we will have Tooney finally fall by Lackey coming in from the main corridor. We're going to have Blackbeard trying to repel inside. He actually didn't. He turned upside down instead of repelling in.
It was Thermite, though, that was trying to repel him with the diffuser, and despite Rendier's shots missing out, Panics' didn't, and he will finish off Pengu afterwards as he comes down. Sai comes up the yellow stairs, but now he's 1v3. C4 comes out from Rendier in the toilets, and he will dodge away from that, but he now knows that Meepy's pushing on one angle. The smoke grenades are going to come out, pushing his own out, now looking towards the toilet. Does get the kill onto Lackey, looks towards Connector now, comes on inside, it's down his right-hand side, and he snuck through. Inside A he goes. 7 seconds on the clock, and without the diffuser, he's got to go hunting. Up the yellow stairs comes the roaming back Jaeger. Everyone else stayed hidden.
That's a
and he's out of time.
Very good rotation by Smoke. Smoke was inside a connector. Ash went into connector looking for Smoke. She traveled through the smoke, through her own smoke, and through the gas grenade. And Smoke, the operator, was able to sneak inside a corner office and just sit there waiting for the push in from Ash. So very good job. Very good rotation.
I believe he also had a shotgun too, so if she'd have come through that hole in the wall, he'd just been blowing her away.
Correct.
Nice and quick and easy. As it is, playing Ducks hold firm and now go up 3 rounds to 1. Remember, Penta won the first map 5 rounds to 1. And this is going to do wonders for the playing Ducks morale if they can turn this straight back on them, especially considering how tight and close the first time they played today on Consulate was. Now, the last round, the only round Penta have won so far on this map today in this game, is a defense of this lobby. It was the first round playing Ducks attacked it, because they all just tried to sprint in through the front door and just got minced up by the Pengu from above. Now, will they try the same thing again? I highly doubt it.
I doubt it as well. I think what they're going to do, we're going to see them pushing from admin, try to take over top 4 like they've done previously when these two teams played on this map. I think that's more of the safe, the more structured push that playing Ducks needs to execute. Whether or not they're going to be able to do it as successfully as they've done before, we'll have to stay tuned and see, because I think that push, that kind of hold from the top 4 against that push from the attackers is what Penta was expecting in the first round. Now, they were able to take home the easier win there when they all tried to push him from the front doors, but I think this is going to be where Penta's going for. And Sai starting it off very nicely by taking out enemy early on.
Aggressive peek from the copy room window, takes enemy down and out as he runs in from that back spawn. It's a very rare peek, that one. Can do the similar kind of angle from down in the Visa room, but he did it from up top. It does mean he's a little bit late for his armor, so he's cautious about it, but does get the all clear to go and pick it up. And Six Scratcher is there, checking that out front drone to let him know about it. Front camera. Camera is spotted though by LMs outside of Visa and taken down, but it did a good job, and they already picked up one of those kills. Rendier now on yellow stairs, checking his other cams. Pengu is still up top and making these holes in the floor down towards the door again and down towards the site below in the most common plant spots. Tooney once more in the spiral staircase that he's done a lot of work from so far today.
Yeah, that's definitely Tooney's go-to spot, is those spiral stairs, because it allows him a lot of mobility. That's one of 3 stairwells in this map, and obviously it's going to be allowing him to rotate forward and backwards of the map.
So I think you can just straight up shoot that thermite charge, but it was on the other side of a reinforced wall and a bit far away for him to see. As it is, he ducks back and across either side of this corridor. As the drone comes on in, he will smoke top of either stairs and start to hold firm. LMs is using that hole he made in the wall now to fire in towards where Pengu is and give himself a way out through this window. Upstairs, Panix is very, very close to the wall, and it was his grenade that did a little bit of damage to Pengu, but more importantly took out all this barbed wire. Will allow him to rush in there if he deems necessary. Pengu's fallen all the way back to the other side into the connector. He's also over this side got support from Sai up in the office, and Rendir in the yellow stairs. So they are holding firm. Tooney's still in the spiral stairs. 6 downstairs is looking to the A balcony through a very nice angle from the central corridor. And Pengu has done a little bit more damage here to Panix, holding him firm. LMs is on that balcony that 6 is looking at, but he's repelled. Lackey comes on in, taken down with a very nice burst from Pengu. Shots coming across from Panix won't touch him again. The fire does go out and takes him a little bit, but it just gives Thermite a chance to get inside.
So Alems is in here trying to gain as much intel and try to push Pengu back so that Capitao can come on in, and there's going to be the kill. But will he be able to get his teammate back up?
Nope.
Not so much as
he
Rendir
falls
throws
the wall
C4.
straight behind him. And Panix is lucky to be alive himself from that, to be fair. He's going to put fire in the door to make sure the flank can't come that way and then look towards the toilets for Rendir. However, Meepy is still alive and up top, and with 20 seconds to go, Panix is now going to go and push for it. Doesn't know exactly where Rendir is and will pay the price for it. Rendir does shoot him in the back as he turns to check the other side. 12 seconds to go. Meepy has to get 4 kills on only 1 player with a known location. The other 3 he has no idea. Rendir is going to push forward for him, and he will die for it, but just confirms for the rest of his team he's upstairs. Don't worry about it. It's done.
Yeah.
And gives the round over to Penta.
So, obviously, that went in favor of Penta. They've been doing something right on this bomb site. They've definitely analyzed how to defend it more effectively than they did earlier on today, and it's showing. These are the 2 rounds. That's the bomb site they've won 2 of their rounds from, and I mean, now if things go in the same pattern that they have, we're going to see Playing Ducks win the next 2 rounds, and it looks like it might be Playing Ducks going up, or actually, sorry, it's going to be going into the overtime map on Chalet, should Playing Ducks win these next 2 rounds.
So, down to the garage goes Playing Ducks again. They have held this before. It came down to the wire, and it was a great use of the Echo drone to do so.
Now, instead of 6 playing Fuse, it looks like we're going to see Sai picking it up, which I think is a better choice. 6 has been a very, very good Thermite today, and so I wouldn't necessarily take him off of it. But Sai has kind of been that operator, or that player that can choose a variety of operators, be that support role that's needed. And I think that's why we're seeing Sai pick up that operator.
So, enemy running around on this Jaeger again, which again, he liked to. He has been a force to be reckoned with these late flanks, with these surprise pop-ups so far. And then, of course, Panix on these castle, setting up these reinforcements, locking off this side of the map in a very familiar, comfortable way for his squad. But as the more they do it, the more Penta get used to it too. So,
5 seconds to go.
oh, Penta learning from it. They got closer and closer. They had more people alive when it came down to the last one, but they couldn't kill off that Echo drone. Don't think that's going to be a mistake they'll make again.
So we've got 4 out of the 5 defenders roaming here. 2 are main floor. You've got 2 that are top floor, I believe. I have to see if Penta's able to get a hold of this and just do a quick push into garage. Again, there's nothing preventing. There's no mute jammer. There's no batteries. So it's going to be an easy garage opening. But it looks as though now they're going to rotate around and try to take over that first floor.
Using Tooney aggressively once again at this backside. He has started to open up the walls, open up the castle barricades, and start to punch their way in. But in the previous times, he has had a tough job surviving the peeks through those holes that he's making himself.
And I believe we just saw some of the defenders rotate back downstairs through the drop hatch and bathroom. And basically, all of the work that you've just put in now has been very counterproductive, because now this is a vault, we'll say, for the attackers to basically take advantage of.
So, starts to crack these holes at the backside again, and will begin to push his way in.
Now, enemy gave away his position. He's going to be killed off here by Rendir, and Tooney gets seen, gets downed, and will be finished off by Rendir.
Yeah, it was a very quick rotate from these guys. As soon as he gave his position, as soon as he was detected, they were there ready for him to come back in. Meanwhile, Pengu is low and does it taken out, downed, but Sai would immediately trade panics back before he can actually finish Pengu off. Using that fuse this time to a bit more effect. They pick him up. More shots come rattling in from the window. They scare Sai off of the revive.
His own
but it was, yeah, Six Crutcher shooting the window open so he could get in and Pengu could get out. So, momentary pause, but they are in all the same. Comes up towards the trash door, which is already opened by Tooney. And the fuse charges are starting to go to the room below. Down below, the fear now is setting in. The Echo drone is still alive, though. That fuse charge is going off on top of a couple of them. Does take out the Echo drone. They obviously don't know this for sure, but with the amount of destruction that those charges do now, they've got to be confident in it.
Actually, no, the Yokai drone is still alive here. Is it? No, it's not. I'm sorry.
No,
that's
it's not, that's
Pengu's
drone.
I thought it's...
It does have the UK icon, you're right. It has the UK icon above Pengu's drone, but it is Pengu's drone, not the UK. So, it is... Yeah, it's now got Six Crutcher's name and the UK icon, so there's a small little spectate bug, but it didn't happen. UK drone is indeed dead.
So Lackey got flashed a little bit, but not enough that he couldn't see, but he does decide to get out of the way, head back down to the drone vent at the front of garage. There's 13 seconds left. Looks like Six is going to push in, goes for the pre-fire, and gets the kill. And now he's going to play in front of vent. Meepy knows he's there. If he had one more gas, you can bet he'd throw it, but he doesn't.
He's already stopped the plant once, and he knows Six Crutcher will take him out again. And
Defenders are going to win!
LMs take Sai out the last second, but the Six Crutcher coming off the plant because of that smoke grenade, and then having to kill Meepy for the push forward himself. He didn't have someone there to kill him for him. He had to come off. It means he ran out of time to get back on it. So even without the Yukai drone there at the end, P-Ducks hold on and put themselves on map point.
So again, I mean, things are going in favor of playing Ducks. Whether or not that was Six's fault or great plays by, I believe that was by Lackey, I want to say, or enemy. Whoever was playing smoke there at the very end, whether it was good on their half or poor judgment on Six's half, it was still in favor of playing Ducks.
It was good judgment on Six's half because he had to kill him. If he didn't, he'd have been dead himself, and that would have been the same outcome. It was poor setup by Penta by not having someone in that position to cover Six Quattro from that push on the right side.
Fuse dropped a little bit too late. We saw there in the kill cam that he dropped, went in towards kitchen doorway, but if he would have dropped 2 seconds sooner, he would have been able to see him cross.
He would have stopped the smoke pushing down. He would have been, exactly that. So yeah, just a couple of seconds of mistiming, meaning that Six had to defend himself instead of having someone hold it for him, meaning that the clock hit 0.
Now, if they would have gone to the first spot during the first time these guys played on this map, but next to the black car, between yellow stairs and black car, I think that would have been the spot that would have allowed the plant to go down all the way. But I think at the time that he was going in for the plant, there was still someone by pipes or by the black car, so he couldn't have necessarily gotten there in time.
So, cameras out front, hidden deep inside the tree, and you're happy with that placement. Everyone surviving the early aggression this time from Penta. Six Quattro keeping his head inside, Sai doing the same thing. Playing Ducks start to make their way towards the building. The top floors are swarmed in Penta players still as the bomb sites starting to take shape the way they want them.
So good Valkyrie cam there that we saw inside of the tree that's able to see the balcony out by a bomb site, which is, again, crucial intel. If you know that there's a player or two out there, that could either be a C4 toss out there, a gas grenade toss, anything that could really just hinder that ability to push in, because I don't necessarily think you can vault over that. I think you have to rappel off of that balcony.
Yeah, you do indeed. If you fall through, you'd be an instant death, so they don't let you do it. Inside the kitchen goes Lackey. Sets to droning this far in. They've got control of admin now, which is actually surprisingly easy considering the kind of power it gives you on this top floor once you've got it. Penta giving it up pretty easily in the grand scheme of things. Does then
electrified.
Yeah, it fires it straight onto the batteried wall.
Now
There's the EMP.
That's what was needed earlier.
Now he goes through with it and will blow that wall very, very quickly.
It's going to see Six right away, potentially.
Maybe Six, I think, is in the connector. Oh, yeah, he's hidden behind the sofa.
Not in connector. There he goes, through the wall!
Through the unreinforced wall. The call out from the drone came on through that he was peeking the connector door. Six falls down. Let's see, is Pengu on his drone? No, but where is his drone? probably in the A site. Meepy tried to prone his way in and does get tagged up, but not finished.
He's going to go in for the
corner,
plant.
gets LMs, and Meepy's trying to hold the plant. The C4 does... Oh no, it's actually Tooney that takes him out. Pengu loses his life for it though by suiciding. Enemy takes Tooney down straight after, and it gives Enemy a chance to plant himself now. 2 defenders left up. One is Sai, one is Rendier. Sai comes towards Connector.
Underneath.
Enemy stops the plant and does get downed by Sai just before he kills him. Rendier has taken out Lackey now and is the last defender standing. The camera has been killed inside the site. So Panix knows he can either go for the revive or go for the defuse. He's currently taking out the barbed wire. They got 35 seconds. That's a lot of time to work with. Then enemy's going to crawl towards him to right behind the bomb in a bit safer place to be. The defuse call is going to come in, or the plant call is going to come in. The revive call.
Now enemy's going to be throwing in the smoke grenades. You see him staying on top of the Visa stairs waiting for the push from the side as Panix is going to go for the plant right between the bomb and the windows. Now we see Panix laying it down. Enemy looks the wrong way at the wrong time. Rendier's able to take advantage of it.
Pulls him off of the plant though. That's the main thing. After killing him, it stopped the plant at the same time. Panix has now got no time. He has to go for the kill. He's hunting for it. He finds Rendier with seconds to spare. And playing Ducks forces into a third map.
5-2 once again on this map. So very good job by playing Ducks. Looks as though we will, like you said, going on to Chalet, that overtime map. And I mean, I think this is what both teams are showcasing. They're showcasing the ability to make these very clutch plays in these very tight situations. A lot of times you're going to see players recognize that, hey, time's dwindling down, I have to make a split-second decision, and oftentimes it's either to play time or go for the kill, and you saw there was go for the kill, and he got the win.
Yeah, it was very nice play by Rendier, 2v1 beforehand, when he knows there's one down, he knows they don't have the diffuser. Playing it smart, letting the clock run down, knows they've got time, doesn't try and rush it, dancing around with them to get it down, then picking up the kill on enemy, making it 1v1 is brilliant, but then as it down to the last 7 seconds, doesn't quite make the right call on going with the diffuser or not. Oh, there's nade.
Brilliant nade.
Yeah, doesn't quite make the right call. Like, it's the right idea to hide, just didn't pick the right hiding spot in doing so. Or couldn't hear the guy pushing him in his right hand side, one or the other, but just moment, like, played it so and so well up until those final few seconds, but in a game like this, those final few seconds are what makes and breaks rounds.
That was a very good wall bang. Very good communication. I mean, you can tell the callouts were exactly what they needed to be for that. He was able to get that exact location on him, drop him, and I mean, unfortunately, it didn't go in his favor.
Perfect play to get that kill and to hide from it as long as he could, but then just didn't hear Panix coming this way, or maybe just didn't know his butt sticked out that far or something.
Yeah.
Thinking he was safe for those extra couple of seconds, but that's all it means, that's all it matters. But Penta already one map up, so now they go to the third and final deciding game.
This is all or nothing. Who's going to go up against playing Euronics, and who's going to go up, or who's going to go home, basically.
Yeah, so let's double check both teams already, make sure they're on the right sides. I do believe they coin flipped for it, because that's how this is decided. Playing Ducks call ready. They are currently sat as attack, so Playing Ducks are on our blue side.
Yep.
Penta setting on orange to go for defense.
We've seen three yeses for Playing Ducks. Let's see.
Yeah, Playing Ducks are already. We just need Penta to answer through, and then we can give it a go. As we said, we've seen Penta play this map, or the streams have seen Penta play this map.
Yep.
Question is, has anyone for Playing Ducks, have they fed them any info? Do they know anything about the way Penta have played this today? Or is this all new to them?
I would like to have hoped that these teams scrim each other often. They play each other, because I know that the top teams in NA, they play each other. I'm hoping that some of the top teams in the EU play each other as well as scrim partners. So while they might not have given away all of the intel or all of the strats that they would necessarily play with, I'm sure something has been given away, little key aspects of where are they going to go, what's their most likely bomb spot to start out with, do they roam hard on the map, do they try to hold top floor, and so on and so forth. What I do think we'll see, just from seeing how they play Consulate, is when the bomb on Chalet is inside a kitchen and trophy, I think what we're going to see is a castle come upstairs, we're going to see someone stay inside a bathroom, we're going to see 2 to 3 roamers top floor holding on to the office, holding on to the master bedroom, holding on to possibly library, because you'll have those castle walls to help funnel in the attackers and force them in a particular flow.
And we may, as we've seen, both these teams are open to the idea of it. Bring Fuse back in. It's even more, it's safer to play with him on, there we go, we're good to go. Safer to play with him here on Chalet, because where you are trying to fuse is less exposed. It's not repelling on windows, it's not hanging outside the building. You're inside, you've got team there with you, and you can be properly safe for it, if you are confident there's no C4s underneath you. But there it is. There is Chalet. These 4 bomb site options. Well, only 2 that we normally see played. Things may change a little bit if the fuse turns out to be played, or more to the point, successfully played.
Correct.
As it is, though, Penta are kicking things off. No fuse to worry about in the wine cellar and the snowmobile garage downstairs. They are bringing themselves that Echo drone to the table with Pengu and that shotgun, of course, not the smoke this time over. They play a very similar style, the Echo and the smoke. Smoke, of course, just requires a little bit less active management, whereas the drone, obviously, you have to be on it, you have to sit on it, the smokes, you throw them out, you trigger them, and then you can go back to being more useful. So, honestly, I prefer smoke on this site, because we were talking about it earlier off stream, how this site is actually kind of limiting for defense, with places you can sit and places you can hide.
Yep.
So for Echo to have to sit there on his drone and use it, he doesn't have the response time and the awareness, or not the awareness, but the availability to sit in this corner and hide while using the drone. Whereas a smoke, throw it out, trigger it, run away, be safe, shoot back, do all this kind of stuff that you need to do when you're in such a confined space.
I mean, looking at this angle here, if they're pushing in from wine, from the back part of the map or back the big garage, what you're basically seeing from a hold is they're going to open up the doorway or open up the wall. You've only got literally 3 spots to sit in inside a wine cellar. And most of them are going to be naded out, or a fire arrow is going to come your way and possibly force you out. So it's very difficult to find a safe spot to just sit downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
Now, enemy is going to be rushing on in and picks up the first kill there onto our Rook. I believe that was 6, actually, that fell.
Yeah, 6 Contra goes down. He was trying to do one of his aggressive peeks again. I thought Sai might have been the man to do it this time, but nope. 6 gave it a go and pays the price for it. Now, Pengu, this is something that Penta do that very few other teams do, is they play inside this little wine cellar, the small room off to one side, with a nice big hole to peek out into. Pengu is that man. They normally reinforce one side of it and then make the hole, but he's just gone for no reinforcement, big hole instead. And he's using his UK drone to scout what's coming in there. Peeks out, kills off the drone as it comes his way, so now they know about him. They will start to pre-fire this way. He's almost peeks into that one. Panics though. Sticks his head around the corner a couple more times. Pengu just about misses it. He's being droned out now from elsewhere. Running out of space, but does take out the drone now and switch back to his own. Panics is throwing a nade forward. Does tag him up a little way, but then Panics pushes straight after it, and Pengu was ready, aggressively pushed into him. Does pick up the kill. Beautifully done. Looks now towards the other direction and can actually push aggressively up this path. He's confident that that trench area is clean.
Now, he's got to be very cautious because, as you saw, as he went into the drone, there's still a crevice through the doorway onto the stairs that he is visible from. So if there's an attacker pushing down those stairs, he will see Pengu. But for the time being, it looks like he'll be safe. Now, we do still have a Valkyrie who's lurking up top. Pengu gets the second kill there on the Meepy. Jaeger's also roaming, though I feel he's on the first floor.
He just got found out as well, though, by Lackey, who's blowing the trapdoor up here above. Not quite Pengu's head, but close. Forces Pengu back into the closet as well now. Lems has this whole Meepy. I don't think he was even looking to where Pengu was. Like, he had no awareness that Pengu could have pushed up this side, which is a big mistake. And they pay the price for it. 35 seconds. They don't have the diffuser. They cannot shift Pengu from this corner that he's in. Rendier is right up on the top to come down and flank like Tooney was going to do before he's killed off, but not even needed right now as Pengu picks up one, Sai picks up the other.
Enemy was
the
able
last
to sneak
attacker
on
is
in.
snuck in the site though. If he goes for a plant early, oh, he turned his side onto Sai. Sai's going to see the side of his head. Sai calls him out, can't quite get the kill, but now they know he's inside. Pengu's going to come around and flank. He has to kill Sai. He can't. And defense win the first round. Penta get that quick lead.
So a very good 3K by Pengu. You had Sai picking up 2 kills. Or sorry, Sai picked up 1 kill, I want to say.
2.
2 kills.
He picked up 1 as I think it's like the Thermite tried to rush in, then Ash snuck through the smoke and he killed the Ash. It was the last 2, but yeah. Pengu and Sai basically doing the 2 job on their own.
So nonetheless, very good job on this first round by Penta. And this is what I was expecting before, is that not Clubhouse. Chalet has always seemed to be a map that Penta has enjoyed playing. I think they do very well on it, and I'm hoping to see them kind of shine on this map as well.
Into Kitchen Trophy then is where Playing Ducks choose to go first as their attempted round to defend. It's an exposed site as far as they go because it can take damage from both above and below. And using the setup that Penta are bringing, Capital and Ash, they can do a mediocre amount of damage from there. But honestly, not as much as if they brought a puck.
Agreed. they could do even more damage if they brought a fuse.
Very, very true.
I don't know. I've always been a fan of Fuse. I was really happy when he got his buff. So I'm concerned that people are not playing him. Concerned.
10 seconds left before
I mean, if they didn't practice with him, like he only became super strong 5.2.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Like,
3 weeks is a lot of time, but it's such a, like, give me another operator that plays similarly to Fuse.
No one.
Exactly. So 3 weeks, yes, it seems like a lot to us, but when you've been practicing maybe 12 weeks to get these strategies right, you then want to mix in a very different operator to that.
Hey, I used to be an Ash and Smoke main, and then I got thrown onto Valk and Blackbeard for Season 2, so
And now
very
look, you're
different.
sitting here talking about the game, so something went wrong.
Yes. Rip.
But, hey, I've always talked about the game, so I can't say much. As it is, though, Meepy's using this very aggressive peek outside the kitchen window, looking for someone. And if Rendia steps a little bit too far back, it could be the lucky winner of a bullet to the head. As it is, the majority of the Penta push is coming in through the fireplace area and towards the front offices. This is the end of the map they want to eventually push in through, so this is the side of the map they want to have control of when they're ready to use it.
And we can see Pengu already inside of the office, looking down towards library, towards L hallway, which I believe that is Valkyrie that he's about to face off against. We'll have to see who's gonna win that fight, because it's gonna be Pengu versus Valkyrie eventually. Now she's sitting right inside of library at the moment. Pengu's gonna call out that drone and will most likely spot Valk if he takes it into L.
Yeah. Looking for it and waiting for it. See how patient the defenders can be up here, and when they choose to make their flank, that's the keynote. Rendia now is going to continue and help the Pengu drone. As Pengu has moved on towards the balcony and is then going to drone up and over towards the library again a little bit more himself. It will give him slightly more knowledge.
He spotted the Valkyrie cam in top of fireplace, so he knows that they're keeping an eye on it. However, I
spot that
don't
play
think he
down to the
spotted
left?
Jaeger. He did spot him there, finally.
Yep. And he loses his drone for it. He looks over and peeks over and just misses him, dancing
Now
back
he's
into
trapped.
cover.
Pengu should not give up this angle. He knows he's stuck here. There's no other way he can go.
This
But
is what I was waiting for. That man, Lucky, pushing up here and helping free up that Jaeger.
that allowed Jaeger to get out of that tough corner. Pengu's now one shield down. Did his other shield get destroyed? I don't think so just yet. Took
Enemy
a bit of
didn't
damage.
actually leave the corner. Tooney at the same time has taken out Panics. Lucky now has taken a bit of damage himself, but Pengu has been down. No, he's just on 1 HP. Ooh. Tooney, meanwhile, pressuring in towards the site. He's going to catch sight of those legs, is he not, on top of the cabinet?
He is on top of the cabinet, but he can't see it.
Smoke
Gas
grenade
grenade's
will
gonna
go
win.
off and push Tooney back instead. Six Scratcher now up and above. Rendier has been down, takes out the cameras, and is now going to cover the rotate back from library that they know Valkyrie and Jaeger are looking to pull off. Tooney downstairs is going to get the cover. Does dart across on into the side. I think he actually took damage from that second smoke bolt. And he now prones in to look towards dining. Doesn't have the best of views though.
So Jaeger's still sitting inside a fireplace. He's going to have to rotate back, but Alems is able to get a double kill on a 6 and Pengu. But it looks as though Enemy is able to push on in and pick up Tooney as Sai gets Enemy and Alems to finish off the round.
Run out of time.
Very aggressive start from Penta, but all too late. They did not have the time to get in and plant. And even if they had started the plant right there, there were still 2 defenders coming at them, ready to try and shut it down. And 1 bullet to the head of a planter would have ended it all. So 1 round apiece. They spent a lot of time trying to flush out those guys from the fireplace and flush out those guys from the library, and ultimately ran out of time to actually push anything towards the site. And that surprises me, because those 2 weren't playing anywhere surprisingly new or with any kind of surprisingly new defenses. Those aren't striking spots. Those aren't surprising spots. So the fact that it took them that long to clear them out or even track them down,
Attackers need to
it's a bit of a
locate
worry.
and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Take some trauma plates!
Now, what are your thoughts on Chanka and having his shield have that 500 hit points head shield? Will he ever be played?
No, especially not on this map.
I'm not saying on this map. I'm just saying in general, because I can definitely see some corridors where he might have a shield strat.
If you use like every reinforcement around him and maybe 3 or 4 deployable shields to make him nade safe, and every trophy, like static in any way, just doesn't work in this game. You know that. just doesn't.
10 seconds left.
Got to give some feedback. Give him a little bit of insight since he did get his buff. His buff that some people wanted, some people didn't. Some people still want more.
He's fun now. And I'll play him in ranked games, I'll play him in casual games. It's fun to pull off, but it's never going to be serious. You know that.
Agreed. Agreed. Now, this is a can that we've seen before from some teams.
We saw it
A
in
very
Season
unique-
1 from Milspec, and then everyone stopped using it.
I don't think many people knew about it. I found out about this, I think, during the qualifiers.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, yeah.
that was a can that I was like, how did that get out there?
Original Milspec with Donut Lord Dardy.
How did that happen in Season 1 when Valkyrie wasn't in until Season 2?
Or whenever Valkyrie.
tell me that.
Fine then. Whenever Valkyrie came out, there was a very early Valkyrie cam from the Milspec team. Whenever she was here. But
Get
yeah,
your seasons right,
it's
sir.
not as new as everyone seems to think. But it did fall out of favor. People stopped using it for some reason because people stopped pushing from that west side so much. But it does give great vision.
So now Sai's going to get droned out by Lackey. I actually thought there was a player who was just sitting still prone, but now that's Capitao that fell early on.
Yep, Sai picked up that kill as Capitao rushed up onto the balcony. And now he's pre-firing back through that window in case someone was pushing into the doorway to try and hunt him down. They aren't, but now he has a nice sight line in towards that door if they go up there. Meepy instead is going up the ladder directly to the window, and we'll be heading on in through that way instead with a little bit of help from Elems. Elems actually peeks over the balcony, takes Sai out. What a great shot. The EMPs can now start going in and they can take control of the floor above. They also have Lackey and Elems on Thermite anti-banner again, so they can get this trapdoor open, even though it's not reinforced, and have no issues whatsoever, and use the rest of the charges actually just straight on the floor. Interesting.
Drone activated.
I think I'd rather see the wall by Trophy get opened up, because you can do that from the top of the stairs, allow a crouch entry point.
Even doing it through the trapdoor now, like through, if make some holes along the top of the wall to Trophy. Yes, okay,
Yep,
sometimes
into
they can
Trophy.
get shot and stuff, but if someone's shooting them, they might expose or give their position away.
Yeah.
And it gives you a nice angle into Trophy instead. Using these holes in the floor that he did make, though, to get a shot onto Smoke. Loses that firefight, though. Actually comes off worse than Smoked has. Down through that floor. Downstairs, Tooney is directly in the basement, actually below kitchen. Beefy's still upstairs, firing through this balcony towards library because they still have one man in there. It's Rendia. He's now dead, though, as Elems pushes on in. That Thermite, now that he's used up his charges, has become a more expendable operator. Meepy, though, picks up Tooney. He tried to peek up into the fireplace stairs from basement. Taken out by Meepy, still on that balcony, and it's now down to Pengu and Sixkatra to hold alone. Sixkatra exposes himself to Lackey, who drops in from above, and he does then get taken out by Pengu. Pengu has to find 3 now. One of them has the diffuser, one of them's above the trapdoor. Enemy's the diffuser man. He's inside the A bomb site. He's got the planter. The drops come on through. He hears it, thinking it's outside. Peeks around now. Meepy is prone underneath. He looks for the diffuser. He's hidden behind the bomb. Right up the far end is Elems. He sees him. Great shot from Pengu. The plant, however, has gone through. Meepy prone down by the fridge. He gets a second one. Pengu now. One more headshot to find. SMG-11, but no health in tow. He's looking for the Ash. She's hidden behind the bomb. She's still right there on the diffuser. Sees and hears her coming around. Gets the tag as he heads to the doorway. Enemy with great patience and good aim when it counts. Just looking through this tiny little angle. Sees the smoke disappear through and gets a good shot.
Yeah, very nice reaction skills there from our Ash. And I mean, in a 3-on-1, I was very surprised that we had Pengu able to pick up 2 of those kills. The first one, very nice, but I think Thatcher should have had that upper hand, but ultimately just didn't get the kill down. I think did a little bit of damage to him, but just not enough to get him killed. Ash was the one to finish him off, but at the same time, our smoke only had, what, 10, 20 health?
Yep,
so,
if that.
So very low on health and very hard to make that clutch happen.
So Wine Cellar goes playing Ducks. We've already seen this defense from Penta, and it went really nicely as they had such an aggressive, solid play from Pengu. Let's see if playing Ducks can do quite as well holding the same site. You talked about how many angles this can be pushed from, how many different ways the attackers can put pressure onto it. It's the sort of thing that requires the aggressive play from the defense for that reason. It's very, very hard to just sit still without getting picked apart.
This is one of those different holds that you can potentially do as a defender, is barricade 2 or both garage walls here inside of this big car garage and sit inside of here, wait for them to try to push in, because you've got control of this site. Now, what you need to be careful of is, will they try to push it through kitchen door, through the main lobby, or sorry, not kitchen door, the kitchen stairwell outside, push in through there and kind of pinch the defenders inside of this place.
Well,
So
to start with, they're putting a very heavy defense here on the back main garage.
no, that's what I'm saying. Is if they pinch the defenders sitting in here from outside, opening up the garage wall as well as coming down the stairs by lobby.
Yeah. But in doing so, they got to expend a lot of resources now. Like, they've got to go through a lot of mute jammers. They've got to go through reinforced walls. They're using smoke grenades up now to take out any trophy systems that could have been there. There aren't any, but they didn't know. And if he kills one of them and makes them use all those resources, that's worth to me.
Kind of pretty worth it, yeah.
So we'll see how and what panics can get done. He's already pre-held this C4. Pre-fires the door as he dances back across and is starting to fall back. He's realizing what they've used already and the time they've used already, he's comfortable with. The drone comes in and saw that he fell back, so he goes a little bit more aggressively forward now as he's trying to surprise them again. C4 held out, dances across the gap, the shots rattle off the cabinets now in front of him. Tries to hold the C4 in hand, but steps a little bit too far wide, and Sixcatra takes his head off, takes him down. They take him out with 1:45 on the clock. They used up a couple of grenades. Used up some smoke, all the smoke charges on Sixcatra, all the grenades from Rendir are gone. Rendir is now inside the trophy room, and Lackey is hiding right on the other side of the kitchen wall.
So enemies also holding this cross. Abana strafes across. He'll take a couple bullets to the chest and won't be killed off just yet, but he is downed. So there's going to be the C4. Doesn't kill him. But there it is. Final shots do. Lackey gets Toonie as Pengu picks up the kill onto Meepy and onto Alems. Now we do have, looks as though Jaeger's been injured. He's getting picked up here. Rendir trying to strafe across, gets one. Can he get the other? No, he's got to reload, so he'll be finished off by Lackey. So 1-on-3 right now, 60 seconds to go.
Lackey coming down the staircase. He's going to walk straight into Sai's crosshairs. Oh, Sai's going to step out right into Lackey's, but Pengu once more with a third kill in the round. Shuts Lackey out to end it and give Penta another round. And yeah, some weird things went on in that round, with the likes of C4 doing 0 damage and very ballsy revive onto that Jaeger, which does work out as Lackey trades it straight onto Capitao afterwards, but honestly, it wasn't even a Wine Cellar snowmobile push. Like, no one got there. It was all held around kitchen and trophy again, really, and above and below. But a very, very fast round with Pengu just stepping on in and using that Blackbeard to sweep up some slightly out of position Playing Ducks defense.
So, I mean, right now it's tied 2-2. This is the overtime map. Winner of this will go on to play Euronics. Loser, unfortunately, is out of the running for that invitation to Montreal. So, both of these teams want this badly.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So, down into Wine Cellar again, go Penta. We just talked about how strong Pengu holds this site before. So, let's watch him set it up now. Makes a big hole here in the small Wine Cellar, and actually has a shield there now as well. But yeah, he makes a nice big hole so that he can straight walk through it, because the speed of that peek in and out is pivotal in some occasions.
Yep.
You can't just slow walk through it. And we'll head upstairs and take out a couple of trapdoors for his team first as well, because the rotators and the roamers that are going to be up here need a safe way out.
That's one of the things to note about this map in general, is there are, I believe, 7 or 8. There's 8 drop hatches in this map, more so than most other maps in the map pool. And I don't think teams really utilize them as effectively as some other maps. So seeing as how they're pre-opening up, I think 7 out of the 8 drop hatches, to me makes them think that they actually know how to utilize these well, and they will utilize them to their full effectiveness.
Let's just go see if he did them all. The one, yeah, one here is reinforced.
But you've got the other.
The one there is unreinforced, but
wasn't
done,
opened,
and this
nor
one's
that one.
unreinforced.
So there's 2, 3. You got 1 in bar and 4 up top. So
yeah, but they opened everything around the library side, the bar side, including the bar one, which actually leads into a bomb site. So that's a new and surprising idea. So yeah, seeing how they utilize those rather than just get punished by having that open, it's going to be interesting. As it is, though, he's holding this corridor again, but it does look like Playing Ducks know how well he can hold this, know how strong he is here, and just went, screw that, we're going up the other end. We're just ignoring that whole side. We're going for the snowmobile garage instead. We'll let Wine Cellar be Wine Cellar, and Pengu can just...
Now Jaeger is on the other side, so that's going to force him to drop or get out. It looks as though he will drop down into snowmobile garage. So now Alems has control here of bar. We have already seen the drop hatch get opened up. Valkyrie, unfortunately, I don't think got spotted there. Alems is going to pick up 6, though, with that headshot.
Yeah, Alems picks up 6. And yeah, okay, Lucky didn't spot Valkyrie there, but now he goes on and realizes, oh, my drone was killed, so someone was around. But he's also still safe where he is. That's what he was initially checking for. Goes to check the staircase and then will jump up onto the edge, which will give him a nice sight line all the way along that top edge. There we go. He sees the man, or the girl as it was, the Valkyrie. Oh, awkward.
Team kill, panics onto Alems, taking out the Thermite. Now, fortunately, Thermite got both of his charges off, so he opened up the garage. He also opened up the wall into bar. With that nade from Panics going down, he knows how dangerous those nades are, so he tries to escape out of the way. Bandit did not take any damage from that.
That was Jaeger, actually. I think.
Oh, was it? Okay,
yeah.
it was.
And he took a single bullet through the wall. There we go. He's just taken out from enemy who came in from behind. But yeah, he was on the main staircase. The grenade forced him up. He was seen in the holes in the wall here and took one bullet through the wall, but Panics couldn't find him, and then Jaeger dies out of the bandit, dies out of the Ash. This is the bandit, and he is a sneaky guy. Rendier uses one of those hatches to drop down into fireplace. He's got Sai here to support, but the plant has gone through. Looking through this hole, he's just going to catch the top of Capital's head. Easy. Panics goes down below this
Bottom left is where Sai is. He's got enemy, but even more below him was Habani. He picks up that kill as well. It's a 2-on-1 right now. Thatcher's the last one.
Rendier takes out the final downed man. Meepy is alone. He's outside. He has the diffuser, and he has a claymore. It's through the drone hole. I don't know if the explosion's going to go through that enough. We'll find out. Sai, though, is going to come and peek through the gap. He's going to just about see him. Meepy begins to spray, but misses all the shots. But now they know exactly where he is. Sai comes out first. Sai will go down. Rendier comes out second. Drop shots it. Does get the down. Goes for the diffuse. Doesn't set off the claymore. It's going to be enough. Rendier is going to hold it. He should just about have it. And Penta, 3 rounds to 2, take the lead.
Very close clutch. Very nice job by the defenders. I mean, you had Bandit and Valkyrie, last 2 alive for the defenders against 4 attackers. They were both in the fireplace. Both had to come down. Got the win, got the clutch, and very nice job to give Penta that lead. 3-2 right now.
So, very, very nice retake from those two as a pair, picking up the kill onto enemy in the back alleyway. The Capital kill through that hole. He's going to be kicking himself for that because they just didn't know that Bandit was hiding in hiding fireplace the way he was. You never see that. And then, as you say, Hibana lying prone at the bottom of those staircases and springing up at the last second.
I like the double take Bandit had to do there. He looked at the Capital inside a bar, said, "Wait, is that really a person? Let me go back and look." Still stared at him for another second or two, and then finally got the kill.
I'm going to shoot at it. Oh, it's a man. Okay. So, Lackey's Vault cameras heading out into the lobby and the fireplace again, checking for everything upstairs. The bomb site is, of course, kitchen and trophy once more. Tooney sending his drone to the basement to look for anyone down there. Six Cutter and Pengu using theirs safely outside, and they'll end up close to various windows and close to access to the bomb site, but more importantly, alive. Losing drones in the drone phase at this level of play is very, very dangerous.
10 seconds to insertion.
So batteries placed on walls upstairs. It's not super vital to stop some of these things get breached. Obviously, it's really nice, like these ones staying closed are sealed, but it's not hard for the defense to, the attacks to shake them. What it does do, however, is force them to use resources, force them to use utility, and if they're not paying attention, occasionally waste a Hibana charge, which we have so far seen today.
Yes, right on the clubhouse wall.
Yeah. Now, as it is, Tooney heads on upstairs and will throw his drone on up to the roof and then drive it into master bedroom. The hatch, once again, is unreinforced. They have other more important walls to use it on, and the hatch is going to get blown no matter what anyway. So they don't worry so much about that. Castle barricade there, locking the room in.
I'm kind of not shocked, but I'm curious to see why, with so much castle play, there's been almost zero sledge play to kind of counteract the castle. There's been a lot of times where the defender or the attackers wanted to get through a particular location, but were forced to go around, or as we've seen before, use Hibana charges to open up a castle wall. Whereas you bring a sledge, all those walls basically mean nothing now.
So, Tooney out front, opening up the west wall. Pengu back up on this balcony as we saw him before, droned in towards the library and did find Alems and maybe Lackey, but he's keeping an eye ready for one of them. The shots come rattling from the window he wasn't looking at. Alems picks the right one, dives back into cover. Pengu now has to pick one side again and now realizes which camera he was spotted on, takes it out. Lackey is going to peek the corridor if he does. Alems is going to peek one side. Pengu has to pick the right one and decides to edge across towards the ladder for a bit of better cover, and then goes prone again to drone once more. Check Alems is still there behind that pillar.
Yep, so he sees the bandit. Will he go for Lackey, though? Now, technically, you still could wallbang Lackey there, as he is behind the reinforced, or behind just a wooden wall. But will he go for the pre-fire? I don't think so just yet. I don't think he's gonna I don't think he has the ammo to try to go for wallbangs without 100% knowing where the person is.
He also still thought Lem's behind that pillar. He does his caps backside of someone, misses those shots as they dance around. Does take one little tag, but Tooney is taking a bit of a pummeling now in the back staircase as they're trying to push up and take these guys out of library. Enemy takes down 6 Quattro. Lackey now is looking to slowly peek on forward from here. Tooney doing the similar thing, sees the gun through the wall, sprays it, tags him, can't get the kill, runs out of ammo, only 20 shots in that gun, and Lackey will finish him off for it. Now that they've been softened up though, can Pengu do something? No, he's moved in towards the master bedroom because they know enemies in here. He's already killed off 6 Quattro. Enemy peeks out while Blackbeard's not ready, but Pengu doesn't need it. Even with the slower ADS time, steps on up, takes out enemy's Jaeger, gets the diffuser picked up, but only has 20 seconds. Bandit peeks out, takes down Rendier. Pengu now we're going to stick with him because he has the diffuser, has to go towards the trophy cylinder, punches the window open, and is immediately killed off. Sai now has to kill 4 people. He hasn't got the diffuser. He couldn't plant if he wanted to. 7 seconds. He sees the 2 shots coming from behind him, finds Lackey, kills him off, looks for LMs, kills him off, has 2 to find, but they're just going to hide. He doesn't have the time.
Very good flicking by Sai.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately, it wasn't in the correct situation. He got 2 kills. There were still two to go. Nowhere near the bomb site, nowhere near the diffuser. The other 2 defenders were downstairs on site playing the game. It was just a matter of, okay, good shots, not effective in them.
That was, I felt, split decision-making from Penta. Pengu had those 2 guys pinned in library for so long, but no one did anything anywhere else. And then they decided, all right, let's get these guys out of library. And Tooney finally came around to help out with that and was too little too late. He gets killed off, 1, because he misses and didn't do enough damage straight up. But he was also alone. If someone had pushed the main staircase while he was doing that, and he had the Blackbeard watching, that could have been a kill nice and easy from behind sort of thing. But they were just busy off elsewhere looking for stuff. And then it's like, okay, well, now we've got no time to do anything. Pengu's left to, all right, I've got to give up helping now as soon as Tooney's dead. Sprint towards the bomb site with the diffuser, punch a window open, which we haven't droned, we haven't scouted, we don't know what's inside. Shocker, shot in the face as soon as he punched it.
Yeah, I think what happens a lot of times from teams is they're used to closing and collapsing on one lurker, one roamer. When it comes time to going up against a squad or a team of roaming individuals or a roaming team, how do you go up against 2 people? How do you go up against 3 roamers? When you know that they're going to be holding the angles, they're going to be holding crossfires on one another and calling out information. That's kind of where it gets more complex when you're going to decide, do we go against the roamer or do we just hold a soft angle, let them come to us, and the rest of our team still goes and attacks the bomb site? That's something that I think a lot of teams struggle with, is how do you go up against multiple roamers? Well, and like you had said, coming in from multiple sides, trying to get a pinch, one way to go about it.
6 Quattro going for one of his little soft peaks, looking up onto Pride Rock. Lackey is close by, Lems is up nearby as well. Lems, though, it's going the slightly safer route down and around. No one quite there yet. Lackey's still droning, I believe, and 6 Quattro is not going to find anyone on this occasion. Upstairs, Sai keeping his head in as well. Rendier is checking his cameras once more outside. Tooney begins to fall a little way back as the drones start to swarm on in and around. Pengu once again inside that B site. Smoke is so good at holding this room alone. If he has to go close to the window, he's got a shotgun. If he doesn't, the SMG-11 is great. He's also just got the straight smoke charges to lock people outside the window while people rotate down to help him. It's a very strong position for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those positions where because your side is, your left side and your right side are both closed off, they're both good. It's just a matter of, okay, saying when it's time to make a push, toss out a gas grenade. This is one of those spots where you can easily pre-place one of your gas grenades, so you don't need to go for a peek when it comes down to the minor seconds. So, seeing that though, we do see Valkyrie that took quite a bit of damage here from an engagement, I believe, with Hibana? Where did that engagement happen?
Could have been Hibana if he peeked out here into master bedroom, as it is the walls being blown. Some floors are being blown from underneath as well, but everyone from Penta has fallen back from upstairs. Rendy has gone down towards the library stairs. Sai is on the top of the library, but it's a long way from anyone that's being an impact. Oh, Tooney hides in that bush, inside sandwich, and does catch an Ash sprinting past him without paying attention. Gets that kill, but is now given away his position and kind of stuck in here. So we'll see whether or not they anticipate his move or if they use his position to bait. You see Rendier moving forward. If they go in now, focusing a bit too hard on Tooney, Rendier might be able to grab them instead. Capital fires a couple of shots across in front of him towards the doorway, which is where Rendier was, so they're not going to fall too much for it. He's going to go with the firebolt. He could fire Tooney out. Instead, he's going to try and grenade it. He's unsure.
It would have been wise to grenade it there because Tooney is still sitting inside of that corner, but it looks as though Panix is going to rotate around, try to look through the drone hatch. Decides better of it, though, as
Tooney
Tooney.
peeks out again, killing the same spot, and that was a... His
That
own
was one of
grenade
those-
bugged and blew up in his hand.
Yep, he had cooked that earlier, called it back in while pulling out his primary weapon, and then pulls it right back out, and boom.
Again, playing Ducks with a grenade bug on Chalet. That's gonna sting. Well, Lackey now upstairs, looking for push forward. There's 5 roamers here to try and defend. Tooney once again below him. Meepy does pick Tooney off as he sprints out from here. He starts to punch the door. Meepy will
Good
pick
cover.
Psy off as well. Brilliant cover fire, but 6 Quattro will be there ready as soon as they start punching their way into dining. 6 Quattro drops prone and finishes off Lackey, who had no time to do any other kind of push, any other kind of pressure, and puts Penta on to match and map point.
Yep. Very good aiming, very good attention to the push that was coming in. So 6 picks up that double K, and now it's 4-3. Penta's up in the lead. They win this next round. They're going on to the finals to play against Euronics, and those 2 teams will fight it out to the death to figure out who's going to get that trip to Montreal.
Yeah, so as we look towards the Wine Cellar Snowmobile Garage selection here from playing Ducks, Penta selecting and setting up all of their attack operators. Exactly the same as they have done every other round to this point. Question is, can they utilize them better? We ran out of time last time. They didn't use it very well.
Where's my fuse?
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
They need to clean out those roamers better or do a better job of straight ignoring them and going on through. So, because of that grenade bug, we did just get words from the admins, and they are replaying that round. It's
Gotcha.
Panix did not deserve to die there. It's not his fault. It was a game bug. We just obviously had to pick operators and go through that just in case the admin said no. There's no reason they should. They haven't. That round's going to be replayed. We're going to run to a short 3-minute commercial break where we just rehost the lobby, get the players invited back in again, get their round restarted. So it's going to stay at 3 rounds to 3. It's going to be a Penta defense again.
Yep.
Playing Ducks are going to go back onto attack. That whole round is going to be replayed as if it never happened. That's unfortunate, but at least we caught it. So
Yes.
it is all there. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time with the carried on conclusion of Penta versus Playing Ducks. Or maybe not.
So it is what? Still 3-3. That round didn't count, but the bomb site will still be the same. Operator choices, I believe, will still be the same. So all in all, it's basically just going to be playing the round again and seeing how it all gets played out. But I expect it to be similar.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to run to the break. So we'll
Break
see you
time.
in just a moment.
Break time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting the players just to rejoin the lobby. They're discussing some things with the admin at the moment. I'm not 100% up on it, but that's their decision, not ours. So they're going to go through and talk that on over and rejoin. Let's have a look at Chalet as far as it's been up until this point.
Yes.
I must admit, kind of underwhelming.
Everyone
seems to have forgotten how to play it.
It does.
I mean, it's not just like it's map specific forgotten how to play. It's, as I say, things with like Penta just taking too long to clean roamers or just not cleaning roamers at all.
It seemed like what was happening here is that a lot of players from the attack side were waiting for the roamers to make aggressive peaks, and for the most part, they weren't. They were staying true to where they knew they were safe. I mean, think about Blackbeard on the balcony waiting to go for the push on Bandit. Bandit knew he was right behind the chimney, the chimney by fireplace, and sat there for the whole time until he got an angle where he was able to get back into library. Then it was Valkyrie and Bandit inside of the library. They got Hibana, who came up the back stairs. It was just a matter of too much static play from the attackers, it seems like, on both sides of the map. So I think that's playing into a kind of the underwhelming performance that we're seeing here. I think a little bit comes down to seem to be same strategies that we've seen previously. There's nothing very different about the strategies we've been seeing from these teams. We've seen them before. It doesn't seem like much has changed other than the operator choices. We're seeing Hibana played, but Hibana's not playing necessarily a role that wasn't fulfilled before by other operators. It seems like she's just being brought either due to her speed, her weapons, or what. But at the same time, I'm not seeing a significant difference in how this is played during Season 3 and how we're seeing it now.
No, yeah, which now that may be just because there isn't. Maybe the meta, like maybe Hibana hasn't made a big of a change as we all thought, or maybe the meta just hasn't adapted that far, or is it a lack of effort, so to speak, from teams? Are people trying to learn these new things, or are they just putting these new operators into their old meta? Are they really using them to the fullest of what they could be?
Honestly, I think what's happening is that they're trying to fit the operators into the old meta. They're trying to say, okay, we like Hibana, we like her 3-speed, we like her weapon, let's fit her into the same role as Buck, or whatever role that is. I don't necessarily see them saying, okay, there's a new operator, there's new meta, let's create a new strat that incorporates these new operators. It's more about, okay, we have this set strat, we have this set meta, let's force our operator choices into it. I think that's coming across as not an effective way to play on this map. We've seen other maps, Consulate, very differently played, and you could see it was built around the current meta. This seems like it's the opposite.
So, we, I think, may need to run to another shorter break. This discussion does not seem like it's going to end anytime soon. Not entirely 100% sure why. I haven't been able to keep up on it, but players aren't rejoining the lobby, and there's a lot of extra typing going on in there.
Yep.
So I think we need to run to another short break and find out exactly what is going on so we can keep you guys informed on what it is, find out what the action is that's being taken, because it was a game-breaking bug, by all accounts.
It was.
That's
I mean, we've done that before. We've seen it before where there are sometimes game-breaking bugs in the middle of the round. It bypasses that prep phase, 15-second action phase rehost rule, but it's still not the fault of the players, it's the fault of the game.
Yeah, and it's the straight that while we've seen them happen for everyone, and some teams do get rehost, some teams don't. The teams that don't get rehost, it's because they haven't reported it. It's the ethos is there on the team is you have a game-breaking bug and there you take evidence of it, whether it be shadow play, whether it be recording, whatever the hell you got your evidence of it. If it's on the mainstream, even better. You report it to an admin, it's proven. You get your rehost. If teams don't do that, they don't get the rehost. That's not on the admins, that's not on their opponents, that's just on them. Like, we can't be there to see every single operator's perspective, every single bug, so we can't sit there and enforce it for them. But for some reason, this one that was on mainstream and is very obvious and was there,
it was protested, we saw it, we have proof, so
not quite going through. So I'm not entirely sure what that is, but
yeah, so
we'll run to
like you said, we're going to cut to a short break. But I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the conclusion.
Yeah.
When the stakes are this high, you have to take everything under review. You want to make sure it's as fair. You want to make sure that you're following the rule guidelines and the rule book to the letter. And I think that's what they're doing right now. They're taking the extra steps, the extra time to just say, look, this is what exactly happened. This is what the exact rules state on how this should be handled. And that's just what they're going through and making sure. Because the winner of this, like we said, goes on to play Euronics. The winner of that goes to Montreal. And I mean, when you're fighting for, what is it, a prize pool of $200,000?
Yeah.
There's no room for error.
I can see why they want to make sure it's all right. So we'll run to a short break. We'll find out exactly what it is, give you guys the info, come back with something in a couple of minutes' time and let you know what it is. Welcome back then. It is 3 rounds to 3. That round is being replayed. So, Penta back on defense. With it being a replay, they are not forced to take the same bomb site, other than the fact that they were locked from Wine Cellar. Yeah, it's there and it's a fresh thingy because it's rather than all right, you've played this whole thing.
Okay.
It's the same as if they. While we have the rule, it's first 15 seconds of the round. If you have a disconnect, you can leave, come back in. You're not forced to take the same thing, whatever. It's a similar. Yes, it's past the first 15 seconds, but because of that reason, it has to be extenuating circumstances for the rehost in the first place. But the rehost falls under the same rules as there, I believe.
Gotcha.
But they chose to go there because they don't want to do the games room or the master bedroom anyway. Like they want to do kitchen trophies, so they're giving that a whole nother shot. So hopefully it all stays intact on this time. And we get another nice fair round. Remember, of course, the winner of this game goes through to play against Euronics straight up after this. And the winner of that goes to Canada. I can see why tensions are high. I can see why both of these teams want this game to be as fair and even as possible, because that is a lot at stake.
10 seconds to insertion.
So, I mean, the defensive hold that we're seeing here is basically going to be similar to what we saw last round, basically. The one that got replayed is you're going to have Pengu playing the smoke sitting inside. Now, what we saw before was, I believe it was Jaeger? Or was it Jaeger or Bandit? Right inside of the bush between fireplace
Jaeger.
and dining. It was
That
Jaeger
was
that sat there.
Tooney on the Jaeger. Sat between the two. Catches the Ash off guard as she runs down, then gets a second kill as someone tries to pressure on him and not paying attention. And it was him that they were trying to throw a grenade at, but failing.
Very good start. This
LMs,
is a Lems
yep.
and 6 going back and forth almost every round. One of them gets an early kill, and it's usually the other that gets him down.
6 squad. If he early peaks, he'll either kill LMs or LMs will kill him. 9 times out of 10. This time, LMs kills him. So Penta starting at a disadvantage this time over. It's right on board again with Panix, who is looking in towards the fireplace, looking in where they had found that Jaeger hiding earlier on. The door's already open, and there is a lot of these Playing Ducks players outside. But
So now we've got Panix's drone looked towards bar, but I don't think saw Bandit inside. So instead he's going to go with the fireplace stairs, look out over towards L, and keep it here for the time being.
so pulls out a grenade, looks up towards the window. Just rethinking it. Pull now grenade up and in. Doesn't touch anything, but may take out some barbed wire or anything waiting on the inside. They know Rendier is in there. Lems is into the master bedroom with Lackey. On the window is Meepy. He's already taken a bit of damage from this.
Now his drone, Panic still doesn't see it. There he goes. Rendier pushes on out, gets the kill on a Meepy, but will be traded off by a Lems as he moves on over towards the main hallway of master bedroom.
Yeah, so they do take him down, but they lose one in the process. So it is still a man advantage for the attacking team. But it took them nearly 2 minutes of the round to get that done, and they haven't really started to look towards the site at all yet. Max doesn't quite get that vault done right. Enemy comes in, takes down Tooney in the fireplace, saw him on the drone this time. Fire comes through to the back corner of dining. That gives Ash a chance to rush on in. Meanwhile, downstairs is the bandit. Pengu is now alone in the backside of the trophy room, holding firm like we've seen him do before. Smoke grenades up towards the front of kitchen. Tries to lock them out. Enemy does run on through, locks the corridor. Sai picks up one. Panics on the far side. The smoke grenades are there covering the drop. It's given Lackey a chance to get in, but Pengu grabs him. Sai gets one as well. Sai is now coming up from behind. The plant is down inside dining. 2v2. Sai looking to drop through from above. He's seen on the drone. Oh,
he downed it, but
Pengu,
didn't
he
know
knows the spot though. He pre-fired the spot that was there before. Sai gets the kill on Panic.
They
All
don't
they have
know
to
the
do
last
now
one
is
is
find
down.
that he's down. They've got loads of time in the world. The two of them are going to push together. Sai's coming around. Now finds that he's downed all along. Gets the defuse. Penta get the round in the bag. 4 rounds to 3. Back at it again. Pengu learning from his, not quite mistakes, but just learning from the round before. It's all right, so you planted in this room again. We killed off everyone around it. Where did you sit? Down this side behind it. Ha pre-fire. Got it down
I
through
believe
the wall.
It was through the wall
It
as
was
well.
through the wall,
Through
yep.
the wall, blind shot just got him. Very nice job. And I mean, I thought it was going to be in favor there of Playing Ducks. They were up 4-3. It looked like they were getting the plant down very nicely. But Bandit coming up for the flank, got a kill or two. You had the Smoke also get his final kill. It was a very good job by both sides.
Yeah. They, as I said, learning that, the pre-fire through the wall. They weren't expecting another Roman. They killed off Rendier. They killed off Tooney. They weren't ready for Sai to come behind. And that's got to be another big mistake, in all fairness, from playing. I mean, it's a huge mistake. It just threw that round, in all fairness, from a 4v3 to losing it. Everyone's run 3 roamers all game long. Now, yes, okay, maybe the first man dying to it was the guy meant to be watching the flank, and he just wasn't ready, and or whatever, like loses the firefight, it happens. But then to lose 3 other players to that same flank, it was only the wallbang that Pengu actually picked. Sorry, Pengu got the lackey and the wallbang, losing 2 other players to that flank. It's a big, big blunder for a team like Playing Ducks to make with this much on their line.
Yeah, so I mean that was their round, and unfortunately they just couldn't execute on it the way that they were expecting to. All due to just that one last maneuver by Bandit, dropping through the hatch, or they actually didn't drop through the hatch. How did he get downstairs?
I believe he...
The drop hatch in dining wasn't closed.
No, he
Or it was
came...
closed.
Drop hatch in dining, no, the one above the sandwich, that was open. He went up there, was spotted by a drone, kills the drone, then ran down the staircase instead.
Okay. No, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. So, down into basement, go Playing Ducks. As you saw in the chat, it is their technically only available bomb site, thanks to the rehosts. And they hold Lackey upstairs. Panic's down in this garage again. He was there before and got picked off by 6-Quattro. The drones are coming around and coming out. Throws one towards the back door. It does blow it on open, but doesn't do any damage to the Blackbeard that was on the other side of it. It's a win for Penta. Making some holes in the top here to smoke out the far side of that site. And Lackey still up and above with this hole down through the bathroom towards that lower staircase. As it is, with Panic's having given up the main garage, they should get in here pretty soon. Tooney just pre-firing a couple of the predictable corners by West Main as Rendier then drones on into it. They're looking to try and find these remnants. They know there's got to be some. Everyone's been running some. Playing Ducks have always had some.
Yeah, so Rendir is going to be moving his drone in here and will spot Valkyrie. Knows now there's a lurker up there, and so Rendir's job is to get on in, pinch him off, because I don't think he's going to go all the way to the balcony. I think what he's going to do is capture him when he tries to come down the kitchen stairs. You can see Capital is inside a trophy, so he is looking towards it. Doesn't quite know if Lackey got out of there all the way. His drone was destroyed, but you still only have half the round to go. It's a 5-on-5, and the only roamer upstairs is going to be that Valkyrie. Jaeger's going to be on main floor. I'm not exactly sure just where quite yet, but looks as though Tooney trying to open up the wall inside. Now, that is going to force Meepy potentially out of there, as it does get opened up.
It won't be. They were batteried, so he can only make this side that's not reinforced, so it doesn't give him a whole lot of extra, and Meepy in turn take Pengu out as he was pushing down that side corridor. He's very low for it, but his shotgun got the kill onto Blackbeard, and now he can stay prone and safe behind this reinforced wall. The battery, meaning that the Hibana charges just don't do anything. They just die on the wall. Minute left on the clock, and Sai has come down to help make holes in the backside of Wine Cellar. It's going to give Rendier, still covering up top, a way to help out later, but 6-Quattro has to be the first man to pick up some kills. P-Dux, though, staying very static. It started to become something that people leave more and more open now, because it actually helps the defenders to have it open. Meepy gets taken out by a nice drop shot from Sai, getting himself inside that small corner. 6-Quattro running the long way around with the diffuser now, as Rendier still watches the flank. 30 seconds on the clock for him to make this whole way down. Panics is being pre-fired but not hit by Sai, and he then gets the kill with the help of LMs onto Tooney. Sai now just trying to hold down the ship until 6-Quattro arrives. 6-Quattro going all the way up and over. Is going to use the hatch to get down and in. And we'll use that reinforcement against the defending squad to plant.
Yeah, there are still 2 roamers. You do have Jaeger, who I believe was in bar, and you've got Valkyrie, who is still top floor.
Yeah, so but they've got the the Capital watching it. The LMs peeks around the corner, takes 6-Quad out. That's the planter down. Rendier takes Lackey out afterwards. Defenders hold, once again running the clock down. As Sai gets stuck in the barbed wire just before he can get in and finish any of these kills off.
So there it is, overtime. Now we might need to rehost, as a coin flip is probably required to determine who's going to be starting on which side.
Yeah, because both these teams now have locked bomb sites, and they need to coin flip 4 sides on overtime. It's normally obviously done automatically by the game, but we had to rehost, so it's not a fair redo. Plus, the bomb sites would be locked. So, it is going to be overtime, as you mentioned, 4 rounds to 4, and it's all going to come down to this final best of 3, with all bomb sites open on Chalet.
Like you said, this is the final map. We're going into overtime. First one to 6 rounds is basically going to be going on to play Euronics. And I think Euronics is looking at these games very intensely. I can tell you for a fact that they're watching it, whether or not they're doing it casually or whether or not they're taking down notes, which I would expect them to do, is what's going to happen. So, I mean, like you said, we've got a rehost here. It's 4-4. what bomb site do you think we're going to see? I think we're going to see Kitchen
We'll
Trophy.
see Kitchen Trophy again. Like, it's why Penta wanted to rehost, because they need that bomb site open again. They had it locked. If they were willing to go downstairs, they could have just done it. But we'll find out what's on defense first, because that's another next big thing here. Who is defending first, who is attacking first in just a moment. We're going to run to a short break while the admin flips those coins and get the players back in the lobby. We'll see you here in a couple of moments' time. So, ready for overtime we are. Playing Ducks, starting on defense.
Yep.
Up to them where they go. All bomb sites open, of course. It is overtime, so it's nothing locked. Penta on to attack, and once again, very quickly with their operator selection, they don't change it up much at all. Tooney considering something different, but will likely be that Hibana after all. He's been running her very much just for her sheer firepower at the moment, which once did come back to bite him because he didn't have enough ammo. He ran out of ammo trying to kill that roaming Valkyrie, killing Lackey off, but does ultimately decide that they're going to bring it along with an Ash instead.
No, we're going up.
Does ultimately decide they're going to bring it along with an Ash instead of Meepy being on that
Defenders, protect your bombs from
that
being
EMP dude.
defused by attackers.
Thatcher.
That EMP dude?
That EMP dude, yeah, Thatcher. Once they'd had a little bit of time to deliberate. So, cameras up on the roofs again from Lackey. 2 inside this time, 1 at West Main and then 1 over there. Third one not going up onto the chimney anymore. And this is, I think, why people stopped doing that chimney one, right? It's a great camera if people attack from that side, but how much is it actually given them from any of these rounds? It really hasn't.
Yeah, there hasn't been that much of a push. A lot of it has been coming from balcony. There hasn't been too much pressure from the trophy
10
window.
seconds to go.
Not much, not less than we've seen in the past. There's still been some, but less than we've seen in the past. I think Lackey's going to throw out his last drone, or last cam.
Onto the tree, I think, yeah.
No, that's small
Interesting.
corner. Different spot.
It's something that people rarely look at, because when you are up in the balcony, you're so focused on the door or from inside. Like, you don't think to look in that corner, and if you do, you're normally taking your eyes off somewhere else very
Yeah,
important.
especially when you're ADS'd in. I'm sure that that location specifically is going to be covered by the exterior actual scope.
Yeah, very true. So, see how long it lasts. Meepy, though, once again, aggressively on top of this fridge, looking out towards the front patio. Pengu is running slowly in that direction, but he's going to rappel up onto the balcony instead. Makes his way up and around. Just before he does, Meepy drops off anyway. Enemy does have a look outside, because, of course, that rappel would have been spotted on the camera, and he would have heard it from up there too. But doesn't do any damage, can't really see Pengu much at all, and gets himself away to safety. Catching a couple of drones and heading in the laxing bush as he waits. As the rest of his team now are checking their drone, checking their cameras, and looking to see where these attacks are coming from.
Yeah, now Valkyrie's the last one alive upstairs. Everyone else is rotated back down to main floor. But looking at her, or looking at Lackey, what we're seeing is inside of the library entrance. Now this is where she stuck before, when we had Bandit also try to rotate back with her. Now C4 is going to get blown, does a tremendous amount of damage to herself with that C4, but that did allow her to escape because she knows that the rest of the attackers are going to be pushing in towards her. This is going to allow her to basically come back up or go down those back stairs, and it looks like she's choosing the latter.
Getting a little bit edgy, I think. Right? Didn't need to take that much damage for it. Didn't need to run away so early either, to be fair. Like, here was a lot of extra space left in the library he could have gone to avoid the damage. He wasn't being pressured as hard as I think he thought he was, and now he's gone and couldn't support enemy who was upstairs, and they lose out that Jaeger more or less for free. Lem's then back inside the site of B, cautious of the windows getting shot out from one angle, hides on in. Meepy inside underneath. Kitchen, yeah, the floor's getting opened above him too. Six Cutter can see his feet, I think, from there, or just about. And he's now trying to find a way to make it work. And yeah, as you mentioned, the floors underneath their Lems has already been punched and pummeled a little bit, but nothing too crazy now. Annex has fallen down and joined them inside dining. He's now watching that front push. And it's barbed wire to help him cover it. But with 45 seconds on the clock, Penta still have 5 gunmen alive.
Yeah, and with the lack of Thatcher on the team now, they will not be able to get the wall opened up. Looks as though Habana's going to get hit from behind. That's Valkyrie coming up the stairs, gets one, but Pengu and Sai are able to get a piece themselves onto Meepy and Lackey. However, Panics will trade off onto Sai as Pengu is able to pick up a lens. It's now a 1-on-3 with Panics. Last man alive. It looks like Pengu's going to have his shield destroyed, goes in for the push, gets in though. As 6 is going to cause that crossfire.
10 bullets left here. Pengu is in one side. There's another man at the window. The man at the window has the diffuser, but Pengu peeks on out and Panics is looking away at just the wrong moment. Pengu again with a 3K on that useless out of the meta nerf too hard Blackbeard. Gets 3 kills to help save the round and give Penta the early lead here in this overtime.
Man, I think Blackbeard needs nerfed. I don't know what it is.
To be fair, all the 3 kills he got there are actually, bar that last one, being Blackbeard had nothing to do with it. They were all trades on someone else dying in his team, and he was just there to answer it. He was just there second. He wasn't ever directly fired at. He wasn't ever saved by his shield until that very last one he was vaulting inside. And even then, it was just smartly played after he survived that initial shot.
Yep.
But Wine Cellar Snowmobile then is the Penta choice for defense. Now, they held this very nicely with Penta predominantly putting all their players in towards Wine Cellar, as I said, Pengu and Sai going huge in at 3 and 2 kills each. But playing Ducks then learned about that and went, let's just go nowhere near that site. And pushed all the way down the other side. And thanks to some beautiful play with the Bandit, almost lost it. When Lackey was hiding prone down by the corner and enemy was on the far side and nearly fell down to it. But either way, playing Ducks guys got very, very close. See if they can get close enough to stay alive. Or if Penta will win this 6 rounds to 4, this could be the last one. They could be facing Euronics in a mere moment's time.
So we are underway here in the attack phase, and Rendir's going to be going up top. Again, this is seeming to be a spot that he enjoys going, up to the library and L hallway. But I think what he might eventually do is, depending on where they're going to be pushing from, if they're pushing out Snowmobile, you might see that C4 pop out from the windows of Fireplace. We'll have to see.
Yep. If they really do and try and open up that wall, which right now they are. Lemons is on it. The EMPs are going to go off take out the batteries while he's mid-plant, and it will give the wall an opening. Panics, meanwhile, is at Game's room and is firing on into there because the drones were already scouting out and finding that Valkyrie was around nearby. She has got downstairs safely, though. Tooney, however, is still up top, and I don't know whether he's been droned so much. They are sending a player up towards the library. Now, if this is just a general library push, if they know he's up here, we'll wait and see. The window's just got cracked open. Tooney stays cautious. Lackey does switch his drone up and is now going to jump it on in. Does see straight in Tooney's face before getting killed off. He sprints out and goes down the stairs.
But, I mean, we already saw Capita, who was outside a gaming room. He's already pushed in, ready for the drop from Tooney. But I think Tooney's going to rotate around, go down kitchen stairs, or go into master bedroom. And it looks as though for the time being, he's going to stay inside of the L hallway, as Lackey is still trying to drone him out and just push on in from library.
Getting that control. He's trying to find where he went. Tooney, I think, tried to tease going downstairs and stayed up. As it is, Lackey has now come inside library himself. Minute 28 on the clock, though.
Tooney's doing a fabulous job of wasting time from the attackers. We're already more than halfway down the round, and they're still trying to drone out and find where Tooney is all the time. Every time Tooney's been droned, he moves a little bit, gets droned out again. Moves a little bit, gets droned out again. And there's no one to capitalize on that information just yet. Lackey's far behind pushing in, but Rendir's still able to get that kill into enemy.
Yep, on the back staircase, they were so focused on taking out the Jaegers upstairs, he forgot to look down a little way, and Rendir punishes him for it. Tooney wasn't doing such a great job of shooting the drones that found him, to be fair. A lot of them stayed alive quite a while, but they are still trying to hunt him with them, and he's now back up into a previously cleared position. So if they don't know about this, Lackey could walk straight into his trap, and you are seeing him there by the chimney looking to spray off one edge. That's the balcony being cleared open so they can take the camera out from outside. It does actually force him to look the wrong way. Lackey opened up that trapdoor from the top balcony. That's going to give the knowledge over to Tooney that he's up here. Oh, LMs and Meepy pick up 2 kills downstairs, and Tooney gets peeled off by Lackey as he tries to step out a bit too overeager. Pengu downstairs, though, kicks out one in the back alley. He's got to look down towards the plant spot, which is not there. Lackey drops straight into Pengu's last bullet.
There's also Capita, who's been injured. It's all up to Thatcher now with 15 seconds left to go, up against an Echo and a Bandit.
They don't seem to know where he is. Sai is cautious of upstairs. He thinks it might be in the panic still alive. Now he knows he's not as he drops and he finishes him. Pengu against 2. Sorry, Pengu with 1 to help. Can't plant in there, Meepy. You just dropped it straight on the floor and handed it to Penta. That's game. They're going to face Euronics. Playing Ducks' dream of going to Montreal is over.